Hi there, ho there, everyone. Mindful Pig here, and on this episode of the Two Tired Dudes podcast, we're going to be discussing our favorite PlayStation memories, along with a PlayStation quiz located at the end of the podcast. You'll also notice if you're watching this on the YouTube version that we added some gaming clips into the podcast. I'd like to give a special shout out to Jesse, aka Cat Trooper, for suggesting this idea. So now, when we discuss certain games, I'll try to have either a clip of a stream that I have done, a stream they have done, or give credit to wherever the clip had come from. Hopefully this will turn out nice and you guys will enjoy it. Your feedback will be greatly appreciated. And as always, I hope you enjoy the show. All right, this podcast is brought to you by allergies. Yeah, baby. But yeah, hi there, ho there, everybody. It is the Two Tired Dudes podcast. I am, of course, Mindful Pig, and I will be joined here today by hopefully somebody, and I won't be doing this by myself this time. Marie, you are more than welcome to chime in any moment that you want to during the podcast for any of the topics. Last week we did our PlayStation topic, but unfortunately everybody was unable to attend, so I decided to carry that same subject over to this week, but I added another quiz. That's right, baby. It's another quiz this week. So I think it was Christ, I don't know, 10 podcasts ago I did a quiz and it went over pretty well. Shout out to Z-Chick's husband, Spider, who really got into it to the point that when he won, he was like, "So what did we win?" I was like, "Well, nothing. It was just for fun, Spider." But it was funny. He was nice to his competitive side. Um, but yeah. So we got that all good to go. While we wait, I am just kind of looking at my ankle right now because I guess I wore my socks really funny, and it looks like what the hell did I do? Like, oh, that's gross. It's like I have like a blister there. That's something gnarly I'll deal with later on, I guess. Fuck, man. I'm falling apart here. Like, I'm just getting battle scars all over my body. I don't know if I'll make it till next week at this point. There's like a bullet hole in my hand. I don't even know where that came from. Just some gnarly stuff going on in this life of mine. But yeah, I hope you guys are all doing good. Hope you're not getting any battle scars along the way. We got the toilet paper next to me, so I can just continue to blow my nose as I enjoy my life full of allergies all the time. I didn't I know what pollen was, and then like on one of my walks recently, I saw this tree and I was like, "Damn, that's real pretty! Like that's a real pretty yellow." And I grabbed it, and then this powder fell on me, and I was like, "Oh fuck, is this pollen?" I'm gonna tell you right now, pollen stains. Okay, pollen went all over my shorts. It went over my shoulders. I was like, Jesus Christ! I just got showered in this shit. It was a good time. And let me tell you, like at least 20 minutes later, my nose was like dripping like a faucet. It was just ridiculous. It was just so too much, too much. Sorry, I probably mute those parts when I blow my nose, but would be mindful without the allergies and the nerdiness. There you go. Toss that to the side. Let's see. What do I have to talk about this week? Mamma mia. Okay. I played a lot of Genshin. I have yet to make it to rank 18 in a week, so I'm kind of disappointed in myself. That was like my own personal goal. I was like, you know what, I can do this. I can get to rank 18 at least. But sadly, that did not happen. I think I'm ranked 12 right now, so I still got a little ways to go. I'll definitely play it tomorrow for the Wednesday stream. So again, it'll be another PlayStation 4 stream. Once I reach like the level I want to in Genshin, like 18, and I can play with everybody online, then I'll just stop like adding that on to Wednesdays, and I'll just change it up again. But right now, I just it's like my free time, so I just want to keep plugging at her until I'm able to hit that mark. But yeah, like I mean, it's still the same opinion. Like Genshin's great. If you don't play Genshin, get on it. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how mobile it is. I probably would play that one, but if you could play it on PC, definitely do it. If you could play it on the PlayStation, like me, rock that shit because it's a damn good time. I even talked to Jimmy about it, and I'm pretty sure me and him have the same opinion. it's better than Breath of the Wild. Like, I don't know. I didn't like Breath of the Wild that much. Like, it was exciting. It was, like a whole new world and just beautiful, like stunning graphics and all that stuff, right? But when you get down to the meat and potatoes of the game, it was very boring. It wasn't Zelda. It wasn't like Ocarina of Time. It wasn't like Wind Waker, like I don't know, all those games, even though like it was the same dry cut, repeat cycle, like enter a dungeon, get whatever the thing you're trying to collect is, exit the dungeon, complete that village, move on to the next. It always felt like special and unique in those games. Even Twilight Princess, shout out to that one too. Um, but yeah, Breath of the Wild, it didn't feel that way. I haven't made it to the Divine Beasts, so maybe when I get to them, it'll be a little more exciting. But right now, I'm just, yeah, it's a slobber knocker of a time. Let me tell you that. It's definitely taken me quite a while to finish that game up. But can't really see it. I don't know why I'm shaking the Switch in my hand because I don't have my video on. But I have been playing a game on the Switch, and it's been bloody amazing. And I kind of figured it was going to be bloody amazing, but like I was really impressed. Like it's mucho good. And it's the Gardens Between. If you never play it, okay, make sure I'm saying that right because I always feel like I'm saying it wrong. No, it really is. Okay, it's the Gardens Between. If you never played that game before, and you like puzzle games, or even if you just like weird, funky art styles, definitely pick it up. I'm pretty sure it's relatively cheap at this point. I want to say I only paid $2 because it was on sale on the Switch, but I think the normal price was either 10 or $15. Very, very simple controls. Like literally, the main controls you're going to use is the back bumpers, the left or right. Or you could use the control stick too, like left or right. But basically, you're either going to go forward or you're going to go backwards. And then every once in a while, you're going to push A or whatever button you guys have for your A on the right-hand side of the, panel of 4. And that's just basically to like activate something that you're walking across, right? So, example, there'll be certain things you have to click on to activate. I guess it's like what do you call it? A time warp. And then you push A again to deactivate it. So, how it all goes together is you start off on an island. And you're gonna go to multiple islands. They're all part of this like dream sequence that you have going on. But yeah, anyway, you go to the first island, and I want to say right now everything's based on this big move that you're about to do. Because the first one has like a little trolley, a little little, what do you want to call it? I call them trolleys. I know they have another name. I can't think of it right now. Hand jack. There we go. There's another one that has like the TV that you're packing up. Oh lordy, what do the other ones have? I think another one had like a dresser on it, and like it's just like a whole bunch of moving stuff, right? So there's the dresser island, the TV island, etc. So when you're on these islands, it's very simple. You just want to go from the base of the island up the hill to the top of the island. You and your partner make it up there. You drop a ball into this like statue, and then you go to the next island. Sorry, one sec. But here's the catch. You can't just walk up the hill. Okay, the hill's always blocked off by something. The hill either, it has something going on with it that's blocking your path. So when you use the left or right bumpers, right? So the right bumper will help you go forward. The left bumper will help you go back, right? So in one scenario, there was no bridge to get up to the next level, right? But there was a saw that was stuck in between a piece of lumber. And if this lumber just happened to fall, it would make a bridge, right? Which is, I thought it was kind of neat. Like, I know it's like basic puzzles, but like it was still kind of cool. Some of them are hard as fuck. I'm going to tell you right now. Like, some of them are just like, what do I do? I must have looked at like 3 different puzzles just to figure out like how you actually solve them. But anyway, back to the saw one. So, you go left, you go right, you just keep doing that back and forth, and eventually the saw starts to cut through the wood, right? Then the wood falls down, you got a bridge. Another one, that really confused me for a long time because they don't tell you about these mechanics, right? It starts you off really easy. You just go left or right, and it's pretty basic getting up the hill. Um, but there was one with a TV, and basically what you did is you go to the edge of the map right before the second platform to get up, up the hill, and it's blocked off. You can't go anywhere. But there's this little device called a time warp or time. I don't know. It's a time device of some sort. But anyway, when you click A, you activate it. It freezes time, and then you could either fast forward time. So in this case, the cord rose from the water and it would plug into a socket, or you could unplug it from the socket and bring it back down again, right? And every level has their own like use for time and fast forward and all that. I'm pretty sure the Saw one I was talking about, I think that one you actually had to click on the time warp thing, and it would, as you fast forward, rewind, it would slowly saw off the piece of wood. But yeah, anyway, so the TV. So you plug it in, right? You deactivate the time warp. Now the TV is plugged in. It's active. It's working. There's a little VCR. As your character, well, one of the characters walked by the remote to the VCR, they kind of played around with it, right? And I just like, so far this game has always been left or right. None of them were just stand still and do something, right? So I'm going left and going right. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why did I plug this VCR in when nothing's happening, right? But I didn't realize that you just had to stand there and let the kid keep fooling around with the remote. And eventually he rewinds it all the way back to the beginning. A tape goes flying out of the VCR, and that's your bridge up the hill, right? So little things like that was, it was kind of like, it makes you go like, oh man, I'm so stupid. Like, how could I not figure that out, right? But they're good. Like, they're good puzzles. I can't even remember the one I'm at right now. I wonder if it's here. So this one's on. We have to take a quick little peek. Literally takes like 3 seconds. Yeah, so right now I'm on the island with the computers. I haven't played that one yet. I think it's a fresh island. Like, I'm going through these pretty quick. Like, let's see. I've done 1, 2, every island. Okay. Some chapters have 3 islands. Some just have 2. Yeah, so I've done 1, 2, 3. Oh, I've only done 3 chapters. Okay, that's pretty. Okay, I felt like I did a lot more than that. Yeah, and I'm on chapter 4 now. Oh no, I did 4 chapters. I'm on chapter 5 now. My bad. Yeah, so that's right in that game. It's really neat because I was just starting to talk about it last stream. I think I bought it and I was like, yeah, I really want to play this game. The art style looks cool. And now that I got to play it, it was exactly like, it's one of those things where when the trailer, what it presents, is actually what the game was. And I like that, right? Because the trailer really caught my eye. The basic mechanics of it all really caught my attention. And yeah, I like it. I'm a sucker for puzzle games, so this was right up my alley. I played a little bit of. Oh, I played a little bit of DC Universe Online. It's still the same. It's definitely a lot more fun on the Switch. I will say that 101 times. I don't know why. It feels better as a portable game than it did as on the Xbox on the TV. I'll probably try on PlayStation. I'll see how it is. I feel like if I was playing with Jimmy or someone like on PlayStation, it'd be more fun and exciting. But it's not a bad like Switch game. Like, it's definitely one I could just hop into, mess around a little bit, level up a little bit more, top off, and call it a night. And then I played a little bit of Earthbound too on the Switch, which was good. I want to play more. I only played maybe about like 30 minutes of it. So hopefully, if I play a little more of it, I can have a better opinion. Yeah. Yeah, so that's all the games for the Switch. Yeah, that was all the games for the Switch that I played recently. Trying to think. Xbox, I don't. Ooh, as sad as it is to say, I don't really think I touched my Xbox this week. I don't think I did for like, Netflix or Disney Plus, but I didn't really touch it for any gaming purposes. Oh, sorry, my nose just bothering the crap out of me. Whew, excuse me. That one really took my soul away. Okay, here, I'm just gonna mute myself for like 2 seconds so I can just really blow my nose. Whew! That just brought on a whole goddamn sneeze attack. Wow. Okay. Oh, God. Still not cleared up. I hate this freaking allergy crap. I don't even know what triggered it. Usually it's when I touch Bowser, but... Whew, okay, sorry. Sorry, everyone. I know it's just really lovely to hear in the microphone. But yeah, so Xbox didn't really touch much on it. Man, now I got this weird black stuff on my feet. What the hell is going on with my life? Yeah, that was... I don't know what the hell that was. It was weird. It's like charcoal. Anyway, just so like ADHD right now. Yeah, so nothing on the Xbox. I'm just trying to think if I actually did play anything, but no. I might have played golf with friends with Cheyenne for a little bit, but nothing major. Yeah, so PlayStation. So we talked about Genshin already. I did more of that. I did play a little Far Cry 6 on Monday with Jimmy, which was a lot of fun. It was like, again, it's kind of like in the same boat as Earthbound. I definitely want to play it longer to have a proper opinion of it. So far enjoying it. Like I said before, I feel like when people play Far Cry, they expect it to be like, so different, and it's not going to be the same. Get an outpost, unlock it, climb a tower, all that stuff. But like, that's Far Cry. I'm sorry, but if you're playing the game, like that's what you need to expect. That's Far Cry. Sorry, I feel like I'm just a mess right now. I had my beard trimmed, and I feel like I have like a little beard hair like on my teeth or something. It's just drive me nuts. Okay, there you go. I think I'm all snotted out. But yeah, I still want to understand the gear system because basically they took away the skill tree, and it seems like they added a gear system to it. So, whatever gear you add or gear you equip, is the outcome that you'll have. So, if you have like a stealth set on, okay, then again, I'm just basing this off of what Jimmy and I are kind of figuring out. So, if you had like a stealth set on, you'd have more stealth skills. If you had the explosive packs on, right, it'd be more boom, 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 baby. Like continuing from there and there. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. My nose just doesn't want to stop. Cheyenne, I'm sorry to bother you, but can I please have an allergy pill? Because this is going to drive me nuts. 60 minutes in, and I just can't stop like blowing my nose and sneezing. It's time to get out the big guns. Actually, fun fact about me is I get such bad allergies that I definitely go way over the daily dosage for allergy pills. Like, there are sometimes I'm taking like 5, and I'm just like, I don't care. Like, I just want this fixed. You are an angel. Thank you. 1. I was just bragging how I take 5, and you give me 1. Can I please have that water too? It's just right there. Just literally out of my reach. Thank you so much. You're the kindest person in the world. Okay, there we go. Hopefully that kicks in and I won't be annoying anymore. But yeah, story-wise, it's great. It's exactly what I expected. The bad guys really good at it. The character that I'm playing as is kind of neat and badass. I like her attitude. I like the environment that I'm in right now. I don't really know. I don't think it said yet the location. If it did, I missed it. But the location's pretty nice. I will say it kind of felt like a downgrade. How do I say this? It felt like a downgrade for the pet that you could ride. So in Far Cry 4, you were riding motherfucking elephants, and in this one, you're riding a horse. And I was like, like even Primal, I was riding a saber-tooth tiger, or I could ride a mammoth. Like, like, don't just give me the biggest hype in the world 2 Far Cries ago, and then bring you back to the horse. Like, shit, man. Let me ride a shark this time or something, badass. But hey, actually, speaking of which, I know. Okay, I want to say the other Far Cry had it too, but maybe not. Maybe it was just Far Cry Primal that introduced it. But I know you can have pets in the past, but in Far Cry 6, you start off with an alligator as your partner, and it's fucking awesome. It is the coolest thing ever. He is such a badass. I'm gonna shout out that crocodile to the day I die. He literally went into places and he like took down every enemy for me. Like I barely had to do anything, which is great because I was struggling at the start. Because I was struggling with it because like um, the horse has a murky criminal past. Is that true? Right? I mean, I could believe that because the outlaws used horses, so they see some shit. I get it. I get it. I get what you're going with there. Um, but yeah, um, the alligator was just fucking insane. Like just literally insane. Like it was taking massive bullets, and like I guess I was just still getting used to the PlayStation controller. So like I remember telling Jimmy, I was like, Jimmy, how do you shoot? I can't shoot. And then I realized I have no bullets. Like that was really dumb too. The game starts you off, it gives you a gun, but gives you no bullets. I was like, what is this, fucking Halo 1 all over again? Like, I don't know if you guys remember that or not, but Halo 1, you get the pistol, and the guy goes like, sorry, I have no bullets for this. And it's like, well, what am I going to do, pistol whip someone? But yeah, Far Cry 6, you don't get anything. You have to stealth kill the first 2 guys, which I didn't know. So, of course, my dumb ass, right? I'm rolling up on these 2 bad guys and literally face to face with them. They're turning you over. I was like, boom, boom, motherfucker. And all it was click, click, click. I was like, oh, shit. I died right away and had to redo that part. And then even like, I don't know, I just couldn't even comprehend the melee attack either. Like, I really messed that one up pretty bad. Um, Yeah, yeah. It was a rough go in Far Cry 6 in the beginning. But there was, like I said, a lot of cool features. You got a lot of stuff right at the beginning, which I kind of liked. Far Cry did Far Cry 3 have it? I haven't played in so long, I can't remember. I don't know if that would have had the grappling hook, but Far Cry 4 definitely does. So does Primal. But it was almost like you had to like I think play either a quarter of the game or almost half of the game to get the grappling hook finally. Where this was like the first like hour. It was like, oh look, there's a dead guy and there's a grappling hook next to this dead guy. I'm just gonna steal this. Which also kind of worked with the parachute you get. I can't remember. Like it's like literally within the first hour again, you do a mission, just magically you get this parachute. So that was kind of cool. At least you got all this stuff ahead of time. You didn't have to worry about it. Like later on down the road. The other cool thing that I got in Far Cry 6, right at the beginning, now it's like the first 2 hour mark, I'd say, was this. Oh, what is the name they have for it? They had some weird ass name, but basically it was like a fucking rocket launcher backpack. It was the dopest dope I've ever seen. It had like 8 different chambers, and you double click the top buttons, and basically like 8 rockets go flying out at the enemy. It wipes out like mass fields. Like, oh, chef's kiss. It was absolutely phenomenal. I love that weapon. It had a bit of a cooldown, so like you can't just use it to wipe out like the whole enemy base, but definitely when it's active, it's really good. And then Jimmy told me too, like the more enemies I kill, the faster the gauge went up. Like you don't go up on its own, but obviously as you're killing stuff, it's moving up a little bit quicker. Oh, and that was the other thing they changed to Far Cry 6. Okay, I haven't played 5 yet, so maybe a lot of these are like Far Cry 5 features, but whatever. Was the healing. I like the fact that the healing had a cooldown, so I couldn't just, go in there guns blazing, take some bullets, turn around a corner, heal, back out, guns blazing, turn around a corner, again heal. Like the cooldown was pretty long, not like ridiculously long where you're gonna complain about it, but definitely long enough where you couldn't just, like I said, just go in there guns blazing and turn for 2 seconds, heal, and go back out again. Like It was a good 30 seconds to a minute, I'd say, the cooldown. And the heat of the battle, like 30 seconds feels like 5 minutes. You know what I mean? It's pretty damn long. Yeah, I mean, it was good. It was damn good, actually. I still have to kind of tinker around with all the mechanics and understand them. Like, there's a workbench you have to work at now and upgrade your guns that way. So there's definitely like a lot of new features. But I'm gonna put a pin in that one. I'm gonna save it for my birthday. I'll play it again then. But I'm definitely gonna finish Far Cry 4 first. I like it a lot. I like the bad guy in it. The only complaint I have about the whole Far Cry series, minus 3. 3 did a really good job of implementing this. It's just the bad guys never show up enough. Like in number 4, I'm hoping I get to encounter him a few more times, but so far it's just been a lot of like he calls my cell phone or walkie-talkie, whatever the hell it is, and that's your interaction with the bad guy, right? Like, oh, you should have just came to me and we could have avoided all this, or oh my god, I can't believe you're dealing with the golden path, blah blah blah. Like it's like shut up, Payman. Just come here and fight me, kidnap me like fucking Voss did. Tell me the definition of insanity. But yeah, like that's the only disappointing part I think in the whole Far Cry series I played so far. Even in 6, I still haven't seen Castro, whatever his name is. He was only like in one cinema scene, like one cutscene, and that was it. So hopefully he makes more of an appearance. Hopefully they don't just take number 4's route. Yeah, I feel like that's all I can talk about for Far Cry. That was literally 2 hours. Co-op's really cool. I will say that. That's my last little shout out is that the co-op is a really nice feature. It's relatively quick to unlock it. It did take me about an hour and a half, which kind of sucked. I wish I knew that ahead of time because I would have played a little more of it. And then invited Jimmy. Excuse me. Yeah. Once co-op took place, the only negatives that you'd have to encounter is whoever player 2 is can't get any of the trophies for the story. So if you're first time going through it, you won't get any trophies. We did share the same loot, so that was good. Yeah, that was pretty much the only negative, was just that you don't get trophies. So I mean, if you're an achievement or trophy junkie, better to play the campaign by yourself and then play with a friend afterwards. But I mean, again, very minor complaints. For most people, that's not even an issue. And then Fudge Cakes. What was the other one I played? God damn, is that all I played on the PlayStation? Yeah, I think it was just Genshin and Far Cry 6. God damn, I feel like I played one more. No, I guess that's it, yeah. I really can't think of another game I played on PlayStation. Like I said, a lot of the games I'm kind of holding off until my birthday, which is... What are we at now? 2 more weeks? Yeah, 2 more weeks and then it's my birthday. So that'll be exciting. It'll be fun playing the games that you guys picked out. Most of them, sorry, just trying to think. Most of them are available on PlayStation Plus. Ha, got you. It was a little beard hair. It finally made its way out. A lot of them are PlayStation Plus, but I know a few of them I'll have to probably buy, which isn't a big deal. The ones I have to buy are games I'd rather own. Yeah, sorry. Just trying to think if there was... Is there anything else I was going to do? I mean, there's a few other special things I'll do for my birthday, but I'm going to save those as a surprise. I'm going to say there's probably at least a good 10 games for that day. One was already given away. Obviously, it's going to be Far Cry 6 because I got that one. You know what? Fuck it. We'll make it 11 games. This way Far Cry 6 doesn't get ruined as part of the surprise. We also have the term. Oh my god, the terms. We also have the Worms tournament coming up too. That's going to take place the week after my birthday, so that's really exciting. Shout out to Maria Moon, who's going to be hopefully joining us that day. Um, oh, you know what? I need to shout you out actually. Speaking of shout outs. But yeah, super excited for that one. Like I said, I'm a true kid at heart, so I'm just pumped to actually have a tournament again with everybody. Um, yeah, yeah, I think that's it. The only like cool thing, I just don't want to shout out. Like I'm gonna shout out, but like I don't know the timeline of when it might happen. But if you guys watched my video a long, long time ago where I was testing out food products, um, one of my customers, she has like a whole bunch of cats and stuff that she looks after. She's going to the States, and basically the reason like why she'll like bring back like little snacks for me is because like we're always like helping her out, right? Like there's discounted food we're later know because she helps out a whole bunch of like food drives. Um, if cat food happens to go on sale, right, we usually let her know and she'll mass buy it, and the other dollar stores help her out too with it. Like it's kind of like a group effort. So shout out to her. Like this lady literally like will find cats on the highway, scoop them up, pay for all their vet bills, um, bring them back to life, and then find homes for them. Like that's her job. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, anyway, she's gonna go to the States, and like she said, she last time she was there, she saw really like funky things for me to eat, but she wasn't like sure if I'd like it or not. But then like when I said, I was like, oh yeah, I made a video out of it, right? She's like, oh okay, then I'll actually buy them and you can try them out. So there's like, she said there's some gross things that I'll get. There's some spicy things that she saw, and then there's like some like sugary sweet stuff. But again, like I don't know when she's going and when it's gonna happen, right? So when I get it, I'll post it on the Discord for you guys to see the barrage of stuff that I'll have to eat from. And if it's like last time and I feel like there's just not enough there, I'll add in a few other things. So last time we did all the canned foods. So canned sardines, canned oysters, like anything I could find that was canned, I basically did. Um, I don't know what I would throw in this time. Because I'd say all jar food, but I know I did some jar items as well. Ooh, you know what I could do? Okay, yeah, if she brings back like let's say just five, like I mean, like it's nothing crazy, right? It might be like just five things. But if she brings back five different items, I could go down the ethnic aisle and I could just buy like um five other little random products of things I haven't tried before. That'd be kind of fun. And just give my opinion on those. Yeah, yeah. I think that's what I'll do. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. But again, I don't know when this is gonna happen. But that'll be another like food one for you guys to enjoy. I really like doing them. In all honesty, like if anybody ever has any like ideas and stuff they'd like to see me eat or like try to challenge me to eat something, I'm down for it. Like I like making those stupid videos. I don't know why. It's just a lot of fun. I'm definitely excited to do another food challenge one for September. And then yeah, there's still the video with Jimmy as well that I'm still editing. It was our Gears of War match. It's so good. Like it's so good. Like the reason why it's taking a little while is because like I literally have to sit there and rewatch like a 3 hour stream and then cut it out. What's that? Oh, sorry. Here you go, Shai. Um, I have to cut out, obviously big chunks of it, but also like add in like gifs and like funny little moments that um, Jimmy usually says. Like he says the funniest stuff, and I know like he never means it like the way it comes out, but sometimes it's just so sarcastic. I'm like, oh man, this is so good. So like. I'll usually like have him say it right, and then I'll have like a little word bubble pop up and repeat exactly what he said. Last time he was like pissing himself laughing because he was like, "Wow, I can't believe I said that." I was like, "It's okay, like we're just like it's just two guys gaming, so I get it. Like sometimes just say dumb shit to one another." Um, but yeah, so hopefully I'll have that one done pretty soon. On the podcast though, I should shout that out as well. JW, Cat Trooper, Jesse, however you know him as, my wonderful little guy in this group, he had a fantastic idea. He was watching our podcast, and he watched just quite a few of them, right? Like not just mine, but podcasts in general. And he was saying that, like, he feels like when people put a podcast on YouTube, they don't really add any like magic or fire to it. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, what would you want me to add to it, right? That I'm intrigued. Like, what are you thinking? And he was like saying, like just something simple, like, so example, if you do watch this on YouTube this week, all the parts that I was talking about gaming on, and more precise, the games that I was actually talking about, I'm going to try to either upload a video to go with that conversation, or if it's like a quick little blurb, then I'll just have like a photo of that console game, whatever it is. But basically, yeah, he wanted to see like more visuals. So, if he was talking about like a brand new exciting game, or Maria or Cheyenne or whoever was on the podcast, right? If someone was talking about whatever, I would kind of have like that background video gameplay in there, or something to just kind of give you visuals. If you're listening to this on Spotify, then yeah, you're not going to see those changes. But if you're watching on YouTube, at least you got a little more out of it, a little more bang for your buck. And of course, speaking of YouTube, if you are on my if you are on my Spotify, hello, account, don't feel bad if you're losing on that, because you also get access to podcasts that no one on YouTube gets access to. So that's pretty sweet. Right now it's just Jimmy's and mine, but it does sound like Cheyenne is getting on the ball with me, and we're gonna have our first podcast episode coming out soon. Maybe in a couple weeks. I'm not gonna say anything yet, because it might change. Depends how Cheyenne feels. She likes streaming. She likes streaming a lot, but obviously it's still like a little nerve wracking. You got to be in the right mindset to do it. And a podcast is obviously a completely different element, because at least in a game you can distract yourself. Podcast is just two people staring at one another. Hey, that's fine. I know, and I'm trying to make her not drink while she does it. Um, yeah, and then we still got the other podcast with your mom. She seems to be a little more active, so I'm gonna follow up with your mom again and see if she's still down and still wants to have that podcast. And then yeah, like I said, I'm gonna let her present it, because that was her idea, and I'm just the wonderful co-host. I guess the honor of being a part of that with her. And then Jimmy and me will still do our normal podcast. I believe it's his turn. I'm not too sure. Like, that boy is very excited. He has two topics that he definitely wants to talk about so bad. So one is Dark Souls, and the other one is Worms. I think he's still on the fence on which one he wants. Like, he did say Dark Souls last time on the podcast, but then I know we were talking throughout the week. He started to like shift over to Worms a little bit. So we'll see. I'm excited either way. I feel like the last two, like we do a pretty good job taking turns, right? But I do feel like I kind of yabbered on a little too much. So I'm kind of excited to give him the floor. I just let him geek out and tell me all about why he loves those games. Because Worms, I have a little bit more to say on, I guess, because I have played that one in the past, but it's been a while. Dark Souls, I literally played for 2 hours. I have nice positive opinions about it, but I don't have enough, to really. I haven't played the whole game basically, so I can't really justify any of my opinions or thoughts. Yeah, so that'll be the next one for that. I'm really pumped, and it's been a fudging long ass time. I know I've last two podcasts now for this one. It's kind of been like a one-on-one with Mindful Pig. But it has been a while since I made a one-on-one with Mindful Pig, so I definitely want to do that for my YouTube. If you guys never watched it before, I think there's 3 of them up currently. And basically, it's kind of like this, but I've also give my thoughts and opinions on some subjects. Mostly anything related to basically gaming, the community itself. So I really try to focus on the community, and we either talk about what the next step is, what the next ideas are. Yeah, you know what, Cheyenne? Can't wait till you do a podcast. The minute you say I'm gonna be like, hey. She always picks on me for saying It's just how I talk. But yeah, I hate you. I wanted to say it too, you bugger. um, but yeah, I feel like I can't even make a sentence without that. Like you're such a little turkey. I really can't. I have to say it. And I can't remember what I was talking about now because you destroyed my train of thought. Yeah, you destroyed me, Cheyenne. You took that train, you crashed it right into the ocean. Oh fuck! Did you ever derail me? Oh yeah, what was my pick? Thank you. Yeah. So basically, we talk about basically gaming, and then I usually like give a little rant about something. Like I'm never negative in these things. Like one-on-one with Mindful Pig is very upbeat. It's pretty much what you expect from me. I actually had one where like I had like a really depressing week. I played it for Cheyenne, and she's like, "No, no." She's like, "Don't, no. That's not matching the vibe at all that you had." I was like, "Yeah," but like I was just so passionate and so depressed that week. Like the thing I wanted to talk about, I just felt like so deeply about. But I get it. No one wants to hear a mindful bitch about work for an hour and a half, and that's pretty much what that one was. Um, what's that? Oh, you're playing with a lot of people. Good job. Oh, your character looks really dope. Oh, never mind. It's just a bunch of characters mixed together. Cheyenne's playing golf with friends right now. Oh, hole in one, you sicko. That's sick. Why is Sugar Pie blocked? That's weird. It's such a distraction. Yeah, yeah. So that's really like all I can think about. That I have going on or that I want to do over the next couple months and weeks, and pretty much all the changes that are going to take place. I have you might pop on, you don't know, but Servax, you guys know him as, I know him as Will. He's one of my Dollar Tree managers, but he's so funny. He basically asked me to make a Discord page for the store managers, so now we got a store managers Discord. And he's like, "Yeah, you're real tech savvy." I was like, "Boy, if you only knew how much I crash and burn during these things." Like a lot will say, like, "Oh, you know, like a lot about this," but like I really don't. Like seriously, like I learned a lot of it from the community. I learned a lot of it through trial and error. I learned a lot of it through YouTube tutorials. Like I'm still waiting for the day when I get a PC and I have to understand how to use OBS or whatever other program is available at that time. And deal with all that technical mumbo jumbo. Right now, I'm just very happy that I can stream from a console. I think that was probably the best choice that the previous generation made for consoles. Which also, um, is kind of tied into the quiz. Not gonna lie. Hopefully, someone comes on because it'd be kind of fun to get the quiz. If not, that's not the end of the world. I'll just save the quiz for next week. I might just, you know what I'll do? I'll make this list even longer. So last week we had on the PlayStation favorites. This week I have that plus the quiz. And if no one pops on the third week, I'll just keep adding until it becomes this ridiculous, like, long podcast. And be like, "That's your punishment, suckers, for not being on." Um, what else is there? Oh my goodness! Yeah, I almost forgot. So we didn't get a chance yesterday because when Jimmy and me get together, we kind of just get silly. We totally forget about any of these things serious we're going to talk about, which is funny that we do a podcast together, right? Like, okay, I say that, but like literally at the beginning of every podcast, for I'd say the good first 15 to 20 minutes, we get derailed off our subject so hard. Last time it was because of the PS4. The time before that, I think it's because we were both excited and we were just like literally talking about millions of games at once. We're like, "Oh yeah, we're supposed to focus on one game." So yeah, I'm excited for that one. But yeah, so yesterday I was supposed to talk about viewer of the month, so I didn't get a chance to. He's not on currently, so you won't get to hear this, but I will make a clip of it for you, my friend. But okay, wait. Let's make sure I have the right month here. Sorry, because I'm always like a month behind. I'm pretty sure I did the previous month. Lordy, lordy, I hope so. The year of the month. Yeah, so I did April, May. Yeah, and I'll be just in time for June. Perfect. So yeah, May's viewer of the month is 26 or what do you go by in Discord? No, June will be next month in July. I'm always like a month behind. So this way it's like a full month went by and you're viewer of that month, you know what I mean? It made sense to me. You don't need to overthink it.
But June is on fire.
We're still in June. Shine, you're derailing this again. You're taking it right back to the ocean, okay? The rescue team just saved me and we're right fucking back in there. Yes Mano is his other name that he goes by. But yeah, fantastic person. Absolutely fantastic. I know he hasn't been active recently, only because he's working really hard on his own streams. I don't have his Twitch name. I'd give him a shout out right now. But yeah, like the reason why Yes Mano or 26 or however you might know him as from either Twitch or Discord gets viewer of the month, and this is like a first time that someone has got it for this particular reason, is he is the only person that came up to me in the DMs, right, and basically said like, like how can I be more active in the community? Like I wanna be more involved in this. And I was mind blown. You know what I mean? Like it was one of those moments where like you actually feel like you accomplished something huge. Like everyone's always like, "Oh, I like the community. I like this. I like that." Right? And they are like engaged and energetic, right? But it's a whole different level when someone actually like steps up. And says like, "Hey, like how can I make?" Oh, shut up! As if okay, yeah, buddy, you came just in the nick of time, my friend. I'm literally just talking talking good stuff about you. I was gonna say talking shit, but I'm not talking shit about you. I'm talking good stuff. And I'm glad you're on because now I can actually give you a proper shout out. So we'll kind of rewind, everybody. Sorry. So we were talking about viewer of the month 26, and we were just praising you, saying how you are viewer of the month, and I was kind of just explaining how you got it. So first and foremost, like I said, I know you might not have been active recently, but it's because you've been working really hard on your own streams, which I think you're doing a great job on, by the way. Really enjoyed the last couple that I've watched of yours. But yeah, I say like I think you truly deserve viewer of the month, and a big shout out to you because you're the first person that's ever like come up to me and actually said like, hey, what can I do to be more part of the community, or like move up in the ranks, etc. And yeah, that really meant a lot to me because like I said, everyone else in the Discord community always says like it's great, it's going good, but like a part of me like I don't know. I guess I'm like my own worst enemy because like I kind of like always go like I could do better, like oh this isn't that great, I'm not that funny. There's always like that little negative part of me. But when you sent me that message, like it really just I don't know, it really hit me hard, and just really made me feel like I did something awesome, and I appreciate that. I like that you literally just hopped in one day and you became part of the family, part of the community. So I can't think of someone who wouldn't deserve to be viewer of the month other than you for the month of May. Like I said, we're always a month behind, so that's why we're picking May, not June. Did you get that now, Cheyenne? Cheyenne was trying to debunk my the viewer of the month. Yeah. But yeah, you are a wicked awesome guy, 26. I always have a great time playing Apex with you. Just a fantastic friend. I've shouted you out before for this exact reason, but I love your patience. I think you are literally the best example of how to be a team player. Yeah, you poke fun, but I mean, you do it in a good way. Like I always get a good laugh out of the shit you say. Yeah, I'm just really excited to have you part of the community, which leads me to my second part of this conversation, and I will make it active after the stream's done. But 26 will officially become the mod or join the mod class on my streams. Um, Basically, if you're here, you're here. You know what I mean? It's no pressure, my man. But when you are on, you'll have a little more power. You know, you'll be able to block those spammers and stuff like that. You'll also be entered into the babysitting group as well. So you'll have a little more power and say on Discord. You'll have access to the boardroom. So when we have our meetings about, big events like my birthday, you'll have more say on it before the rest of the community does. Or when I do the award show, you're going to have a big part in that too and be able to shout out some ideas and thoughts that you have as well. But yeah, just I hope you keep it up, my dude, because like I said, you are a fantastic streamer. You are a fantastic community member, and yeah, I'm really happy we cross paths. I definitely am very grateful to have you in my life. Aw, no worries. Okay, so now the other part of it is you got your shout out on Twitch. You'll also get a shout out on Twitter, a shout out on YouTube. And if you are comfortable with it, because some people have been in the past, which I totally get, but there is a gift card that is awarded to you. So all I need from you is your email address. You can just DM me on Discord or wherever you feel comfortable DMing me. Just give me your email address. And the only one that works really well for it, hopefully it's a benefit to you, is Amazon. So, you'll get a $20 gift card for Amazon. And yeah, I know you'll get a shout on Discord as well too. So basically, yeah, everybody will know your name. But yeah, congratulations again, 2-6, and just thank you for being part of the community. Thank you for just hanging out and playing games with me, man. Like I said a million and one times, you guys can be doing anything, and like really anything you want. You can go for a fucking walk if you wanted to, but you choose to sit here and listen to some dumb Canadian talk, and I appreciate that more than anything. It's just nice, getting to know all of you guys a little bit more. So yes, woo, 2-6, congratulations, buddy. Um, that was I meant to just actually last night. Me and Jimmy were laughing about it. But we got so like engulfed in Far Cry's what was it, 5 now or 6? 6, sorry. That we totally forgot to shout out the viewer of the month. You want to blow my nose again? Okay, there we go. That's buds. Aww. Aw, 2-6. That's really nice, man. You're definitely one of my best buds too. Aw. See, this is why it's good I don't do a face cam, because I'm just like fucking beat red, like look at tomato right now. So I'm glad that you guys can never see me. Um, speaking of which, though, you did add me. I was thinking about that today. I was like, did 2-6 actually remember to add me on PlayStation? But I believe you did. And I made sure. Ooh, no, actually, can I have Apex downloaded? So I'm ready to go on PlayStation with you. But I think I just have to make sure I log in, that the logins are correct still. Yeah, actually, I was wondering that too. I wonder if it'll be what do you call it, cross save? So I wonder if it's not like I have like amazing stats or anything, but I wonder if my stats from Xbox will carry over to the PlayStation as well. I'll have to test that part out with you afterwards at some point. But yeah, just absolutely happy to have you here, man. I'm glad you guys think I'm funny. Okay, so yeah, I think, I think that's pretty much everything I had to cover. I'm gonna try to go a little bit longer just to see if anyone else shows up. Like I said, I did have a quiz, but I want to hold off that quiz for a few more people. Um, I don't know if you did play one or not, 2-6. Well, I mean, I know you were on the PlayStation now, but I don't know if you played like PS1 or PS2 as well. But did you have any PlayStation memories that you wanted to shout out? So, example, my last stream, I was talking about my biggest like moments in gaming was no matter how many times I tell this story, it's always gonna sound fucking naughty. But back when I got my PlayStation 1, basically I had my uncles and my cousins all down there, and they were fucking pumped for me to play Tomb Raider. But when I always say this story, I always describe it as, yeah, I was in my basement, in my room, my uncles and my cousins were behind me. It just, yeah, no, it sounds freaking raunchy. But no, basically it was just a bunch of like 30 or 40-year-old men just excited to see Triangle TDs because they were literally so pumped. Like that game went on, fucking Laura Croft popped up, and they were like, yeah, like they were just fucking jacked. And let me tell you, it was a lot of pressure. Like I could play games, but that was like my first 3D game, and like just learning the controls while all these guys are behind me. I was like, I can't die. I can't make any mistakes right now, or these guys are gonna riot in this bedroom. Um, so yeah, that was definitely my PS1 memory. My PS2 memory was playing Champions of Norath. Fan fucking tastic PlayStation game. If it's on the PlayStation Store, I didn't check. Apologize. I was supposed to do it last week. But if it is on the PlayStation Store, I'm gonna buy it, and you damn well better believe it. I'm gonna play that one on my birthday. Either Champions of Norath or Return to Arms. It was just the best RPG. I know others don't agree with me, but I will freaking hands down better than Diablo. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You will have the best time if you ever get access to that game. And plus, back in the day, it was a couch co-op game, so even better. 4-player couch co-op. It was fantastic. PS3 best memory that I had game-wise was playing Killzone. Never played a Killzone game before that. Um, Played one for the first time on the PlayStation 3, and I just got so involved in that story. Like it was crazy. Like I remember it was kind of like this moment where I had like where I was playing on Xbox 360 for so long, kind of like the Xbox One, and then I just happened to get a PS3, right? And then like I was like, I'll just play like a little bit, but I'll go back to the 360 because I don't want to like, I don't know, I felt like I was cheating on the 360, so I was like, I don't want to like dip my toe too far into this. Um, but then I played Killzone, and I was like, this is the best thing in my entire life right now. The story's great, this action's great, and yeah, I ended up playing all the way to the end. I think I played Bioshock Infinite like right afterwards. I was like, okay, I have to play another PlayStation 3 game. Played that one, played that all the way to the end, and then I think I went to Ratchet and Clank after that, which was another like great game. Like PlayStation 3, for the small amount of time that I owned that system, it was a damn good experience. Like I definitely enjoyed my time on all those games, and I'm looking at my library right now because it kind of built up. I don't know. I just kept buying games for it, even though I don't have the system anymore. I was like, oh, Uncharted's a classic, and I just wanted to own them. But yeah, so there's definitely. Uh, if I ever do find a PlayStation 3, I'd probably buy it just to like experience those games. Or if they're on the PlayStation Store, I'll buy them too. But yeah, let's hear your shout, buddy. So 26 said, I had every PlayStation, but the only memories I really have with it was when I played God of War back when we were on good terms. It was so fun. I think I still have all the PlayStation games. Not sure where though. Okay, out of curiosity, when you're saying God of War, do you mean like the PS2 era or like the newer God of War? And then, oh, Guitar Hero. What a shout. I miss Guitar Hero. I wish they would bring it back. It was awesome. Me too. Me too. Um, Damn, man. I'm trying to think. Okay, I have to look it up. I have to see. I'm sorry. I know this is completely terrible to do on a podcast, but I'm just damn curious what the last Guitar Hero was. I'm gonna say it was like 4 years ago. I don't know what you guys think. Guitar Hero. Well, we're gonna find out, Cheyenne. Cheyenne thinks they just made one. Let's see if she's right. Oh, okay. The Guitar Hero, no, the Guitar Hero franchise is officially dead, which was an article back in 2011. What? Shut your mouth. 2011? Fuck, that was like a decade ago, bitch. Oh, damn. Okay, I did not think it was that long ago. Holy shit. That's like when someone tells you the 90s was more than fucking 2 years ago. Oh, damn, that hurts. Wow, I'm so old. God damn, that's true. I remember playing that in whatchamacallit, high school. Shit. I know, right? 2.6. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago. It was Guitar Hero 6 apparently was the last one to launch. Hey Tommy, how's it going, buddy? If you want to, Tommy, we're just shouting out some PlayStation memories that we all had. So I'm reading out 2.6s here. His was the God of War for the PS2 era, and Guitar Hero we were talking about. Which, okay, 2.6. I'm curious. Did you ever get to play the what was it called? The keyboard one with your fingers. So I think it was around the time that Dance Dance Revolution was really starting to kick off, and there was like an actual keyboard version that you could do like just with the 4 control panels. It was fucking awesome. I'm not gonna lie. It got super addictive in our schools. Like they had to block the site because people just kept playing that fucking game all the time. And it was so funny when I met Cheyenne. She was like, "I played that game too." But I can't remember the name of it now.
Wasn't it DDR?
Was it DDR? Is that what it was called? I know, but it didn't have like a fancy name because it was on the keyboard. No, it was just DDR. Okay. If you guys ever get the chance, you should try that one, like just to reminisce the past. Yeah, it was damn good. It's good, Tommy. I like it's so simple, but it's so fucking addictive because it's like it's just like Dance Dance Revolution. So you got all those catchy songs, right? You're just fucking going to town on your keyboard. But I remember everyone always complained about the same thing. At one point, you're gonna hit that fucking cramp in your wrist or your hand, and that's when it all goes downhill. Also, great job capturing the Pokemon. Um, yeah. So that was a little quick shout out. But PlayStation 2 God of War 2.6, that is a fantastic shout. I'm kind of excited to play the new God of War just to see what it's like. But I'm not gonna lie, it has a huge milestone to go over as far as I'm concerned. I feel like this one's the newer one's more story based. Not that the old one wasn't, but like the old one was a lot of like get in there, beat shit up, rip things apart. Like it was just hardcore action. The only thing similar to it that I played was the Wolverine's Origins, which is kind of the same way. But yeah, like God of War PlayStation 2 was like its own kind of like entity. Like I don't think you really had any games that were similar to it. So it really stood out. So yeah, I'm interested to see how the newer genre or version of it goes about. I remember the PSP ones were super good. If you ever had a chance to play I think there was 2 of them, Chains of Olympus and I can't remember the other one was now. Oh, Ghost of Sparta. Those were 2 great titles on the PSP, and it was so good. Like fuck, man, the PSP was fucking awesome. That was, I didn't shout it last time, but that is definitely one of my best PlayStation memories. Was getting my first PSP. I remember seeing my friend play in the classroom, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And he was like, "It's a PSP." And this is like just when cell phones were starting to get like a little bit like into smartphones, a little more popular. And he was like, "Yeah, I can go on the internet with this. I could play music on this. I could watch a movie on this." I was like, "Fuck yeah, I need one of those tomorrow, right away." And I remember I begged my mom to buy me one. I think at the end we split it, so I saved up half the money and then she paid half the money. And I literally rocked that shit for a good like 5 to 6 years. Like it was like my console that I played on all the time. It was so ridiculous. But yeah, fuck. PSP was the shit. Like I would still pull that system out if I could find it again. And definitely rock a few games on there because there was so many bangers, so many good choices. Um, oh, you haven't played the new God of Wars either yet? Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get that one. Okay, I'm just gonna say my birthday stream. Sorry, there's another giveaway. God of War is definitely gonna be one of them just because I want to try it out. Okay, sorry, Tom. What'd you say? Oh, you played Stray. How was Stray, buddy? Was it good? And as if Tommy, I can't believe you played Wolverine's Origins. I've talked to people about that game so many times, and no one knows what it is. They're like, "What's that?" It's like, "Oh, it's just a Marvel game. It's probably not that good." It's like, no, it was fucking awesome. Like, I actually beat that entire game, same as you, buddy. I might have missed like one or two achievements, but like I remember beating that game, going back, playing on a harder difficulty, going back, playing it again on another difficulty, just because I loved it so much. Like it was, I don't know, it was very unique and very exciting. I definitely loved Wolverine's Origins. If I find that on the PlayStation 4, I'm definitely gonna buy that. That'll definitely be one of my choices. Um, I don't want to give it away. Like I said, I had a little quiz. I'll save it for next week, so who's ever on the podcast has a chance to talk about it. But there is a PlayStation console, I will say, that got released that I didn't know about, and I kind of want one now because it sounds so cringe and awesome. But yeah, I'll save that one for next week. You know which one I didn't like though was the PSP Vita. I'm just gonna say that. Like I know Jimmy's really passionate about that one, and it's not like anything bad. Like the PSP Vita was cool, cool idea, concept, all that stuff. Um, I just didn't like the digital only. You know, like I need to put a disc in. I'm a physical copy kind of person. I love to own physical copies of things, and yeah, the minute like that's why I didn't play Google Stadia because everything was digital or on the cloud or whatever they had at the time. And yeah, just it's not about that life. I can't do it. I need a physical copy game. I need to look at it. I need to look at the cover art. You know what I mean? Um, oh, I'm glad Stray is a good game. You know, that game came right out of left field, and I'm so happy that it inspired like a whole bunch of cat games now to come out. I don't know if you remember from the PlayStation Showcase, but we have another three. I want to say at the very least three new cat games to play, so that's really exciting. Excuse me. Um, yeah, right. I don't know if you're the same way, guys. If you like physical copy games or if you don't mind digital. It just I don't know. It's just nice. I know it kind of sucks after a while, right? Because obviously, when the next console comes out, your physical game's kind of useless unless they're going to use the backwards compatibility feature, like Xbox has, and I'm pretty sure PlayStation 5 has for the PS4. Um, but it's just I don't know. It's just fucking awesome. And I don't mind pulling in a little old system and playing it. The only thing I don't like is that I can't stream some of them. You know what I mean? Like I would love to just pull out the fucking N64 and like play some games for you guys. And yeah, unfortunately, I don't have that kind of technology yet. That's okay. That was the only downfall I'll say with the Switch. Is the Switch? I don't know. Nintendo's kind of weird sometimes. Like they don't have any achievement or trophy feature. They don't have any way to stream their console. Like they're really weird. Um. Oh, why? What's going on, Tommy? I didn't watch it, but I saw a lot of the games that were talked about. Is it like a game that you think I'm going to be hyped for? Or is there something else that they didn't talk about? Because a lot of people that are talking about the Nintendo Direct were just talking about all the new games that were coming out. What was it? Super Mario RPG, I think, was the biggest one that everyone was kind of pumped over. I never played that one, so I was like, oh, okay, cool. But it does look interesting. I wouldn't mind trying it out. I mean, I love RPGs. Fun fact, if you guys, I mean, I'm sure most of you already know, but way back in the day, like 1988 back in the day, shout out to the year I was born, baby. Um, uh, Sony and Nintendo were actually supposed to partner up and they were going to make a console. Now, the interesting thing about this is that most people thought they were going to make their console together, but the idea actually is they were going to have the Super Nintendo launch with an attachment, kind of like how the Sega Genesis had. And this attachment could play CDs. So it was like, it wasn't its own console. It was a Super Nintendo plus a PlayStation put together. So really neat. And then I was looking into that today for my trivia questions, right? And it made me laugh. After the deal flopped with Nintendo, And it was totally Nintendo that made that deal flop. They just decided that they didn't want to take that branch with PlayStation. PlayStation tried to show them up with a big "fuck you" and actually switch over to Sega, and they presented Sega with the same idea, and Sega was basically like, "You guys don't know what the hell you're doing. This is a stupid idea. You guys." And there was an actual like direct quote from one of the CEOs of Sega, and they said like, "Yeah, Sony will never be able to make it in the hardware game." It's like, well, I guess you were fucking wrong on that one. I love Sega, but man, that was definitely a missed opportunity. I wonder what kind of world it would have been if Sega and PlayStation made a game together. That would be kind of sweet. Um, oh, I did see the new Princess Peach. Oh yeah. Um, oh my gosh, I think it's a remake, Tommy, of Luigi's Mansion. I'm pretty sure that's what it's supposed to be. It's a remake or remaster. I don't know what Super Mario Wonder is. I'll have to look that one up. Hey, Pizza! I see you popped on, buddy.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can actually. You're coming through just perfect.
All right, sounds good. Had to make sure. But yeah, how you doing, man?
Not too bad. I'm just chatting here with Tommy and 26, and I gave 26 a big shout out because he's the viewer of the month for the month of May. I said it right? Yeah, May.
Oh,
Um,
that's cool, man.
yeah, yeah.
That's what's up.
Um,
Well, sounds like fun. I was wondering where everybody went. I'm guessing I came in kind of late.
No, no, no. I was literally just talking to myself there and Maria for like a good hour. And then 12 826 just recently showed up. Uh, I was almost like, okay, at the hour mark, if no one shows up, I'll just save the topics for next week then. But at least you came on, so that's good.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I unfortunately I've been busy. I don't get why. I mean, I should be on my vacation, but it's almost as if for some reason somebody has to call me for something. So having to juggle that around. But I'm good now.
Oh, that sucks. You get called off on your vacation if they need help.
Well, in this case, it's like just family matters. That's all. Just family pretty much. But I mean, it's just like, you know, they should be okay without me. But I guess it's just one of those things where if I'm off, they will just call me over to do something.
Oh yeah, I feel you. That's like my mom too. She texted me today asking for help. I was like, hey, I'm actually working this weekend, mom. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I know, right? So I was like, you know what though? Let me not say no to them. I'll help them out. So I was doing that, and really, I was kind of just out of it for a while. Because I mean, it's hot. Like the sun is out, and it is. I don't get it. It's like summertime down here is the worst season because it feels like you're in an oven that's on 500 every day.
Yeah, I remember you were saying with Z-Chick there that it's getting like extremely hot where you guys live.
Yeah, it was trying to think. I think it was either last Thursday or last Friday, but it was like in the triple digits.
Ooh,
Yeah, I mean, like,
shit.
it's one thing if, it's like triple digits and it's humid. That's okay. But it was like triple digits with this, it was like dry heat. So, the sun was pretty much beating on here. It's like, like I was wearing my shoes. I'm like, my feet are getting hot out of nowhere. So I stayed inside that day.
Holy crap! Yeah, I can't imagine that triple digits. Like I bitch it gets hot over here, but I don't think it's ever gone that hot.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Sadly, it's one of those things where it's just, I guess, the perk of living down south, but I'm not a fan
It's
of it.
very true.
I'd much rather
Yeah.
freeze to death than burn up.
I feel you. As much as I bitch about the cold, I'm with you. I would much rather be cold than over hot.
Right.
It's ridiculous. Okay, well, Cheyenne, you have it like freezing sometimes. Like, calm down. She's like, I second that. Um, but yeah, so 26, nice to see you on too, buddy. Um, yeah, if you guys want, let's just hear what you guys have been up to.
Oh, yeah. Well, not much. I mean, really just working. I've been trying to get some videos here and there to get recorded, but I've been kind of slacking off lately. I've been playing Fallout. Like I've been playing New Vegas so much that I've been putting off my duties. I'm trying to get out of
I
it,
did
but
enjoy your
it's
videos
tough,
though,
man.
Pizza. You had some nice ones that you did post lately. I like the controller review a lot. I thought that was a pretty good one.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that, and I want to do it though. I really do want to like use it, and I'm trying to figure out how I can pair it with the Series X because if I can, I'll use it while I'm playing New Vegas for sure. But yeah, I really want to get that review out because I enjoy it, and I've been seeing people getting it for cheap. So I'm like, let me go ahead and make a video about it while it's cheap, and explain why it's a good choice.
What do you like? What's some of the things you're really enjoying about New Vegas?
Uh, I mean, it's just a game that I've been playing for years. Like, I mean, at this point, it's just a game that I play it not religiously, but it's a game that like when I think about open world games, like that is the staple, or like yeah, like that's the staple game for me, or like that's the game that I consider like top of the line, and so I just something about it. I just like playing it. So I guess it's like when people say they play Skyrim like all their life. I mean, I don't get it, but I can see why they would say that because it's the same with me.
I remember the only thing I mean, I had a little bit of difficulties in New Vegas, but the only like real thing that frustrated me in that game was fucking Caesar's army. They were just so ridiculously overpowered. It always felt like oh man, when there was like two or three of them together, it's like damn, your health bar just dropped.
Yeah, yeah. I was playing on hardcore earlier, like just like separate campaign, and I had to stop that because hardcore on New Vegas is almost it's insane. It is insane, and I would recommend it because it's like even if you have the best gear on it, the best weapons, like even the little wasps that you find in the desert, like the scorpions, like like they will 1-2 hit you and you'll be dead. You know,
Oh yeah, yeah, those things are powerful too. You're right.
yeah. I mean, like I've had more luck killing like like little raiders and things like that. But yeah, like Caesar's army, between that and the NCR, yeah, they're tough. They are tough SOBs. So yeah, I just had to turn that off, which is a shame because like I want to give myself a challenge, but that's a big challenge. That is a you need to know doing kind of challenge, and I haven't touched New Vegas since like mid PS3 years, and that's about it.
Yeah, yeah. I always forget that is actually a pretty old game now. Wow, yeah. PS3, Xbox 360. You're right. It's so weird to think is that. You know what? When I was playing it too, I was just trying to think um, if I experienced it or not, but I don't think I even got to fight a Deathclaw in my playthrough. I somehow managed to avoid one in the whole playthrough of New Vegas.
Oh, what's up?
Um, no, I was just saying when I played New Vegas, I think I managed to avoid fighting a Deathclaw the entire time. Like not on purpose. I went through that entire map. Like I was exploring a lot of it, right? But somehow I managed to miss a Deathclaw. I never came across one, which I was surprised.
Yeah, I had a few times, but I mean, it wasn't because I was wanting to. I was just trying to figure out where I should go because like I'm really trying to beat the game in like a short amount of time, and I tried doing that, but it is like on hardcore, it is near impossible. Like I think, like I was probably in like the Vegas area, but it was like it got hard when it became doing things like trying to get inside the casino and like trying to follow people. It became too much work. So yeah, I was trying to beat the game in like maybe an hour or less, but yeah,
Wow.
not on hardcore. Not on
Yeah, I say
hardcore.
Tommy agrees with you too. He says hardcore is very annoying.
It is annoying. I mean, it's a fun challenge, but yeah, it is. I mean, I guess for speed running, yeah, it's probably that's a bad choice. But I thought I could, I thought it's like I thought it's gonna be, like the kind of hardcore. It's like, oh, you can, how when some games when they have hardcore, it's just easy, but like with just a bit more annoyance. But yeah,
Yeah.
this was like proper hurt me hardcore. So yeah, I had to take a break from that.
And speaking of Fallout 2.6, how's your adventures going in Fallout 76?
It's going pretty well. It's been pretty fun so far. It's been a little difficult at times, but besides that, it's a pretty fun game. It's got a nice community that help you out when you need it. And the death calls are actually pretty easy. I heard you talking about that earlier. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. It's really good.
Yeah, because in 76, you guys fight like things that are a little more intense than Death Claws, right? Like, isn't there like big monsters you take on and stuff as a community?
Yeah, there's like event monsters and there's Scorch Beasts, which is like a giant flying bat, but there's a whole bunch
Oh,
of yeah.
that's
But
cool.
yeah, it's pretty awesome.
And then like I know like a lot of people said like when that game launched, and this is kind of what like Cat Trooper and me were debating one day, because I feel like it's reached that point now where it's definitely a lot more fuller. But when it first launched, right, people were saying the game felt a little empty. Do you feel that now at this point in the level? I feel like it must be pretty flushed out the game.
No, I feel like it's pretty full now. Looks they have like the quest line at pretty much everywhere you go. You can like find like a side quest or a main quest, and they have like a lot of nice mechanics in the game, like your building mechanics, your hunger mechanics. It's just a whole. It's good in general, and I love the story to it.
Nice. Oh, okay, that makes me happy. Yeah, because I said I feel like it's reached that point now where it's definitely become the game it wants to be when it was first launched.
Yeah.
Um, so what else have you guys been up to other than Fallout?
Nothing really. Besides Fallout, and gaming in general, I've just been sitting at home trying to find a job. That's about it.
Ooh, nice. Is it like your first part-time job?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's always the like most brutal one to get. It's like I don't know, like me, like as like I hire people, right? Like I don't really care if someone doesn't have an experience. That doesn't bother me. It's literally just how that person is in the interview that I would base my hiring decision on. But I know a lot of companies are always like, oh, you need experience. It's like, well, how do you get experience if you never hired anyone? Like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's always baffled me.
yeah. How about the Apex though? Have you played any Apex lately?
I've been more playing Call of Duty because Apex, it's get it's to the point where it's like becoming like kind of a toxic environment, like with players and whatnot. So I've been,
Wow, really?
yeah, I don't like it that much anymore, but I guess it's still pretty fun to play. But yeah, that I don't. It's just kind of going downhill. That's all I can say about it.
Like, I'm just curious. Like, is it like when your mic's open, or like are they just like trash talking to you the whole time, or is there just like messages that you get?
It's like when they're like they trash talk regardless if your mic is open or not. They just it's
Uh,
if yeah, it's
that
terrible.
sucks. Yeah, I said I never really had like too much in gaming with that. Oddly enough, the one I had the most trash talking was Dead by Daylight. Like, and it's usually like because you can't really talk to anyone in the game, right? So you'll just get like a message every once in a while. It's like you fucking idiot. What the hell were you thinking?
Oh,
But yeah, oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. I feel like that was kind of like what was turning you off too, eh, Pizza? Because you were playing Apex there for quite a while as well.
Yeah, a little bit of it. Yeah, it was that, and also it just it's one of those things where I guess I kind of just took a break from it. I don't know. I should, it's a game that I can play for hours, but I think it's just one of those things where if I stop playing it for a day, I just stop playing it and then I'm going to something else. But yeah, I mean, as far as like the toxicity goes, I mean, I can deal with it. I mean, I've been dealing with that kind of stuff since like the modern warfare days when people just were starting calling you the N word and stuff. So I'm used to like the trash talking, but I can see why people don't like it because I mean, a lot of people they will call you out just for any reason. Like
Oh,
like the other day I was playing like just a random match, and like I had picked a bad spot, or at least it was okay until like we got ambushed. The guy was saying how like oh, how the team sucked, how we had no weapons, how the drop was terrible. Like just whining, and I was like,
yeah.
it's whatever. But yeah, you'll definitely see those kind of people, and I think you'll see them more like in the ranked lobbies. But still,
Oh, so true, right? People hate it when their scores get messed up.
yeah. Which I mean, hey, I get it, but I mean, well, sorry, let me say that. I can understand you getting like just annoyed, but I mean, trash talking, like sending like nasty messages to somebody, that's uncalled for, and I mean, I'm not there for it. It's never happened that bad to me. But I have friends who they just stopped playing because they would get called, they would just get random messages, people got a mic calling them names. I'm like, man, that sucks. So you know that's not I was taking a break from it, but I can see why people do though. So I still play Apex. I still play it, but only because I have friends who are getting into it. I was like, you know what? I'll play with you. And so far nothing bad has happened, but hopefully it stays that way. If it doesn't, then I'll just take a break again. No big deal.
Yeah, I got pretty lucky, right? Because when I started playing Apex again, 2-6 just happened to pop on. And I played with him for quite a while. We had a good experience. We had a few pretty good partners too. Like there was no one really too bad. But it's not always like that. I totally get that. Sometimes you just you get stuck with a bunch of people you wish you weren't stuck with.
Mhm.
um, yeah. What else? How about you, Pizza? What else have you been playing other
Mm,
than New Vegas?
honestly, really just that. I mean, I've been trying to, maybe get out of it, but it is a game where, it's just, I played it so much that it's like it's just a game where I can kind of keep playing it repeatedly. So yeah, for the past week it's just been Fallout. But yeah, I do plan on kind of getting out of it though because there are some games I want to get some gameplay for my YouTube videos, and it's just I'm trying to figure out how to get out of that like that Fallout addiction as they call it.
um, I was gonna say, did you play their other title? Was it other? Is it Other Worlds? Oh, I can't remember the name of it now.
Uh,
Can't-
T- Titanfall? Question mark.
no, no, not Titanfall. What is it? Obsidian Games? The ones that made New Vegas. They had that other game that
Oh,
came out just recently. I think it was the Other Worlds. Let me see here.
Yeah, yeah, I played it, but I mean, it's not,
The Outer Worlds. Sorry, that's what it was.
you're fine. I mean, I played it a few times, but it's just, I don't think it's a game for me. Not because, it's bad game or whatever. It's just, I think that, I've only really known New Vegas, so I kind of just stuck with it. And,
Yeah,
plus, I mean, the game came out when I wasn't in the mood for like a Fallout type of game. So, it just kind of like felt out. It just kind of felt out of my interest.
It's true. It did come out pretty close to the same time as Fallout 3. I remember that. It wasn't that far of a gap between the two of them.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I mean, yeah, that's really it. I mean, I'm gonna buy Starfield because I think that from the way they are presenting it, it seems like Fallout 4 in space, and I like Fallout 4. I mean, it's not my favorite Fallout game, but it has its charm. So, hearing them say that it's pretty much that style of gameplay, I'm down for it, and maybe I can actually get into Outer Worlds.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people praise them, right, for their storytelling. So I was just curious if maybe it was storytelling in New Vegas that caught you, and maybe you'd like the Outer Worlds too. I haven't tried the Outer Worlds myself, so I don't really know if that one's good or not. And then they have that other new game too, right? That's coming out by Obsidian. Um, oh God, I can't remember
Yeah,
now.
I'm a,
Oh, I know it was the one that had like the really bad graphics that everyone was kind of like bitching about. Oh, I can't
yeah,
remember the top of my head.
I'll buy it. I don't know what's coming out though, but I mean, whenever it comes out, or really whenever it comes out, and I know about it, because I know that I have seen all these games with release dates, but like if I don't see it on my Twitter feed or I don't see it like just from word of mouth, I may not even buy it until like it's been a few months, because a lot of times when I'm waiting for these games, like there's a game that's coming out in August. I'm not sure what game it was, but it was like late August. I'm like, so like I don't mind waiting, but it's just I go back to work in August, so I'm like, by the time
Yeah,
that comes out, I'll be going back to just taking care of work, taking care of my life. So I may not be able to get it until I just come across it off a random chance.
plus, too, I'm sure August for you must be really busy, especially the start of September. It's not like you have a lot of spare time, right, to dive into a 90-hour game or whatever it might be.
Oh yeah, it definitely is one of those cases where it's just it's like everything all at once for that month. Really, it's for those 2 months, 'cause, like it kind of weathers out in October and November. Like pretty much close to the break. So I mean,
Yeah,
it helps having a nice little break. Like I think about 2 months after school starts, which that's pretty generous. So yeah, that it definitely helps me out. In August though, it definitely is just boots on the ground, make something happen, and then that's really it.
I was gonna say, hey Z chick.
Hello. What up?
How you? What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Not too shabby. We were just all kind of talking about our PlayStation memories, what we've been up to. And then special little shout out to 26. He got viewer of the month for this past month.
Woo!
Yeah, yeah.
Congrats, congrats.
How about you?
Don't listen to that guy. He's playing Destiny. He's got rage issues. He's got to work through them.
I get it, Spider. You wanted to win. I'm sorry.
Well, he just waited like 2 hours for like some kind of update. He had I don't know, a bunch of shit. I was just here. And then he just finally got in. And whatever's happening is happening over there, guys.
That's funny. What about you, Z chick? What have you been up to the past couple of weeks?
I've been working a lot. I don't work this week. Fingers crossed my phone doesn't ring. So yeah, I'm supposed to not work this week at all, which is like, yes. Because last week
Yeah.
was like, oh my God. You guys know I work with midgets, right? I work with little people, tiny humans. And it was just crazy. I did like 11-hour days. last week. And we have a couple of sets of twins, and like Tuesday, one of the twin girls bit her sister, broke the skin, yay, good times. Let me see, Wednesday we had like a naked situation where these two twin boys just kept taking off their clothes. So that was fun, chasing little people and trying not to let them pee everywhere. Let me see. And then Thursday, I was like, man, I really don't even want to go to work. But, let's just like, fuck it, let's go. So I pull into the parking lot. My boss is like, I'm buying lunch. And I was like, sweet, score. At least I can get a free lunch and a smoothie out of it. But,
Hell yeah.
right? But other than that, work, crazy, homeschooling, because he still goes to school like all summer. It's just less, but he just still has to do school stuff. Other
I was
than
curious,
that, yeah.
Citric, when you say like 11 hours, is it like the same group of kids for 11 hours, or do you at least get to like a rotation of different kids?
No, option A.
Wow, that is a long time with just one group. Yeah, wow.
So we're open like 6 to 6, and some kids are there because they can only be there for 11 hours. So some kids get there at 7 and they're there till 6. Or if the kids get there at 6, they're there till 4 because they can't, or till 5 because they can't technically be there 12 hours. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's definitely, I feel worse for like the little people because they're there for so long, but
Let's say like hats off to you for keeping them entertained for that long. Like, holy crap.
man, yes, a lot of redirection, I'm the fun teacher. Like, let's get some paint out. Let's get that water table out. Let's make a hot mess of this. I don't even care. Let's just have fun. And then when we're done, even cleanup can be fun. So,
Oh, it's so true.
I do
know someone
bubbles,
had.
I do crayons, like you name it. We're doing it. We're making a mess.
I don't know if I posted it or not, but someone had like a really good meme where they're like, forget like sleeper agents and all that other stuff. Whenever you hear the song, you're like clean up, and that one automatically it starts making you want to like clean up or tidy up whatever in front of you. Like it's just like
Absolutely.
drilled into your head. Yeah. So, did you get any chance for gaming? Like, did you do any Genshin or anything special?
I played a lot of Skyrim. Well, not last week. I
Ooh.
guess I caught up with it because let me see, Friday night. Oh, so Friday we also had a wedding, like a wedding rehearsal, and then Saturday
Oh, nice.
a wedding. Well, Spider's like, "Hey, you're gonna come to the rehearsal dinner, right? You're invited." I was like, "Sure, sure." Do I really have to go to the rehearsal dinner though? Like, you're in the wedding, I'm not. Like, that's weird. And then I went, and then I ended up helping set up the reception. So I was glad that I went because I got to be all decorative and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Right, got to be like all creative, woo, creative freedom. And then Saturday was the wedding, and then we got home late, and so I didn't even game for like 5 days, which was sad, but I recouped. I gamed like 8 hours straight on Sunday, I think. And then,
Nice.
and then yesterday I did like 4 or 5 hours, and today I did like 3 or 4. So I'm caught up. I'm good.
Did you have any crazy adventures this time in Skyrim?
Oh, always.
Yeah.
Always. I
I like
only
your
died.
character fight.
Oh my gosh. So a friend of mine, Boxavento, he edited, we're going to say part 1 of that crazy video where I was
Oh,
like relentlessly
nice.
dying. Yeah, he edited that for me because he wanted some editing practice or whatever, and he's like, and I made him a couple emotes, so it was kind of like a trade thing. And so he sent that to me today, and I think I'm going to upload it to YouTube tomorrow, and it's just epic deaths. It's not even a quarter of them, I don't think. So
Oh, that's so cool. I can't wait to see that.
yeah.
And he's a really chill guy, I'll say. That was the first time I got to hear his voice, and I was like, man, this guy is super chill. I love it.
Yeah,
His
dude.
birthday stream was awesome.
Yeah, we pretty much we party chat on PlayStation pretty often, like whether I'm gaming or when I'm done streaming. Like I'll probably hop in there after I'm done talking in here, and we'll just like shoot the shit and talk about whatever anime or shows or characters or games, or we just rant for like an hour.
I don't think I got to see the whole thing. Did you end up enjoying RuneScape?
I did. It was just different, but I was chill.
I get
Yeah, it's very
that.
different. But I had fun because like it's nice to be in a game with somebody who is not just helping you, but like, because he didn't really, he didn't like do things for me, but he was just like, here, this is where we have to go, this is where we have to go, or and that makes it fun, I guess, because you're not just wandering around aimlessly like a tarred biscuit.
I get, yeah. Like honestly, that's the kind of game where you could do like 2 hours of gameplay and have like one thing done. Then you figure it out.
Right. I learned how to mine.
Yeah.
Yay! That's kind of how I felt the first time. But he's like, no. He's like, I was like, I'll play whatever you want. He's like, whatever. I was like, yeah. He's like, whatever. I was like, yep. He's like, you sure? I was like, if I have it, I'll play it. So, yep. I think we played
That's
like
awesome.
4 hours of RuneScape.
Oh, it's so easy though. In that game to do
is.
that.
It is. I didn't even realize it was like 4 hours. I was like, what the crap?
Yeah, so especially you start gathering resources, and it becomes pretty easy to waste time in that game.
Yeah. How about you? What have you been up to?
Oh, well, the only like big shout out I had that I said earlier was I think it's on PlayStation as well, but there's a game called The Gardens Between. So I think last time I just said I bought the game, I didn't really get to play it. Now I actually got to play it, and because I know you like puzzle games, C-Chick, I think you'll like this. I got it for a sweet deal, like on the Switch, it was only $2, but I think general price is only like 10 to 15.
What's
Basically,
it called?
it has The Gardens Between. It has like a really cool like art style to it. But anyway, okay, from what I understand, the story is pretty basic. Like, I think you're moving, and basically, I guess your two buddies, two friends. They don't really say what the character's relationship is, but they're kind of like just reminiscing. And I'm assuming they enter a daydream, and then you enter these islands or these memories. And every island has something related to moving. That's what I'm saying. I think it's based on that. The first one has like a trolley or like what do you want to call it, a hand jack. Then the second one has like moving boxes. The third one has like the TV, the VCR. It just keeps going on like that. And the concept's really simple. You'll enter this island, and your objective is to get to the top of the island to complete it. And you put this little orb in there, and then you move on to the next one. But obviously, you can't just obviously you can't just get up the hill easily, right? You have to solve a puzzle. But the cool part to this game is it's literally two controls. So you can either use the left and right bumpers on the back of your controller, or you could use the left and right motion on your joystick.
Okay.
And yeah, so like one island, for example, I had to go forward, and then I hit this part where there was like a log and a saw. And as I kept going left and right with the icons like moving back and forth, it made the saw move back and forth, and eventually it cut the board. It made a whole new path for me to go up, right? So that was really cool. And it's like trying to figure out little mechanics like that. Like I said, it's very simple controls, but it's just trying to like figure out how you can manipulate them to help you get to the top of the island.
That sounds
Another
right
like
up my alley.
yeah, right. Like when I was playing this, like, oh man, only Z-Chick would like appreciate this as much as I am right now.
I love puzzles. Hell yeah.
And then they add like one more button into the game. Well, there might be more later on, but so far I'm like halfway done it. So the last one's like A, and it's just to interact with something. So there's two things you can interact with. One's like a time portal of some sort, which basically lets you fast forward or rewind time. Mm-hmm. So in one part you reach a TV, and in order to pull the cord up into the socket, you have to press this, activate the time warp thing, and then you would rewind time so that the cord can plug back into the socket, and then you go back, and complete the puzzle that you're doing. Or there's another one later on that has like a bell, and basically the objective is to open up this one flower at one point, and you grab the orb and you use the orb to complete the level. But some of those flowers are sealed. But when you use the bell, the flower opens up. So yeah, they add like little mechanics to make it more and more challenging. But there are some puzzles I've done where I'm just so mad at myself. I'm like, I don't know what to do right now. It's so confusing. And then I look online like for quick advice, and it's something so simple. Like there was one where I just had to keep rewinding a tape. And like it didn't make sense right when I was playing, and I was like, "Oh, I just literally had to stand there, and it would have kept rewinding." So it's just like little simple solutions. It makes you think outside the box, I guess, from just using the left and right trigger all the time. But yeah, it's really, really fun. Like I've really enjoyed it. And just the art style, like when you get a chance to actually look it up, I think you'll like the art style behind it too. It's very cartoonish, um, but like hand-drawn cartoons, so I kind of like that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was pretty damn good. That's definitely been the highlight that I played. I think lots of Genshin, like I was saying earlier.
Yeah, what level are
Um,
you in Genshin now? Did you make
uh,
16?
no, I'm almost there. I'm at rank, I think, 12 or 13 right now.
I'm so excited to play with you. Oh my gosh.
I totally would have played it yesterday, but yeah, Jimmy wanted to play with me, and the only game like I'm allowed to play right now is Far Cry 6 because all the other ones I'm trying to save for my birthday stream.
Mhm.
So we played that one together yesterday, which is pretty decent. That was pretty fun for co-op.
I think I have that game.
Yeah,
I haven't played it though. I have
you might because
I
I
have
think it
so
was on the
many.
free-to-play games
Yeah,
for this month for PlayStation. Yeah,
yeah.
they had
Puzzle game that
Jurassic Park on there.
yeah, I don't
Sorry, go ahead.
I did put that in my library. Um
Nice.
a game I played, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, The Pedestrian. I don't know if you caught any of that, but it's a puzzle game.
Oh yeah.
So like you're a little like a stick figure kind of person, and you're walking through different places, like whether it's the city, the tunnels, but you're like in signs, and you have to do these puzzles to open up the paths.
That's
It's
cool.
so great. I think it was free on the PlayStation. So now that you have it, you might, I don't know if it's still free, but
Yeah.
it was so great. I still haven't finished it, but I spent like 2 hours in my stream just enjoying the puzzles. Like I didn't even care who was there. Like I was just like talking about my puzzles, and it was so much fun because you have to like sometimes you have to go from one scene back to another scene to get an item that will help you in the next scene or like in the next. So it's like it's crazy.
Ooh, so it really makes you think. That's kind of
Yeah,
neat.
like you have to go get batteries for like this little Game Boy looking thing, and it's really just like I know like rig power thing to unlock something else, right? But you can add certain things to it. It was crazy. It was crazy. It's hard to explain, but you're just like going from like, like the your walking signs or
Yeah.
uh any kind of sign that you would see. Yeah, so you're like just jumping through. I'll find the trailer and I'll put it in your Discord. But it's great.
Nice. Yeah.
It's so great.
That sounds cool though. I like the whole sign idea. That kind of just sold me on it alone.
Yeah, you're just like this little tiny person hopping around. It was a blast. I don't know if it's co-op or not. I didn't even bother to look. I was just sold on the puzzles and winning.
Awesome. Also, I was gonna say Solario gives you a little shout out. She says, "Hey, hey."
Hi, Slayer.
But yeah, so 26 and Tommy and myself kind of did our huge rant. But Pizza Z Chick, I would love to hear what some of your PlayStation memories were. Either like a console you really loved or just a game that you really enjoyed a lot. And then if you guys are down for it, I do have a little trivia quiz for everybody. Same as last time, just 10 questions long.
Hang on. I'm trying to think. Really, my only good memory of the PlayStation, or I guess my favorite console, is the PS3. And I mean, I just played that. Why didn't I start? Let me rephrase that. My PS2. So I played that way
Yeah.
more than the PS3. And honestly, you know, even nowadays when I'm doing emulation, I'm playing like PS2 games the most because that's really where most of my childhood was. And also most of the games that were like, top rated, like most of them played are all PS2 games. So, for me, that's kind of just really where I've been at my most interested. So I know that when the PS4 came out, I never bought it until like 2 years later, and honestly, I feel kind of bad that I did because I should have bought a PC instead of PS4 because I think I wasted money on that. Sony really dropped the ball on the PS4, at least for the base model, because it ran like, you know, a lot of the games I want to play, they couldn't play them because they're all like, it was either they would freeze or it would go to like the main menu. So it's like, it's not worth it. So I got a PS4 Pro to see maybe if that fixed anything, and it didn't. I mean, I was trying to play Call of Duty, like Modern Warfare, and it would just mess things up. Like it would freeze. Well, it's not,
I
once
had
I
no issues with my PS4.
do all that. What's up?
I had no issues with my PS4. I did not like the menu though. Like, the PS3 menu is like, I don't know, I just love the PS3 menu. Like the navigation of it all was really nice. It's a lot like the PS5 navigation, actually. I feel like the PS5 is like a PS3 upgrade.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not getting PS5. Sony has done too much for me to justify it. Mainly just because like I was hoping that the PS5 would have backwards compatibility, if it would have better user support, and from what I've seen, it doesn't. And then the fact that like with the whole PS Plus and PS Now thing, like we're not getting downloadable PS3 games. So it's like, yeah, I mean, this is me though. I would be wasting money if I bought a PS5, and
You
that's really
can,
why.
oh, go ahead.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. That's why like when the PS5 came out, or like when it was announced, I had actually no, I had a PC by then. I think yeah, I built my PC like around the tail end of the PS4, and and then yeah, and of course I questioned the release of the PS5. Like like my question was, is it going to have backwards compatibility? Is it going to be available to get? I mean, it was available, but yeah, my biggest concern was that, and they never gave it to me. So I'm like, you know what? As a legacy player, I'm not down for it. It's like I don't really care. I don't really care for all the new shiny games. I mean, they're fun, but like I'm somebody who, if you gave me like a Dreamcast or a Genesis or even like an NES, I would play that more because, you
Of the
know,
classics.
yeah, like that's just something. I grew up playing retro games because I mean, I couldn't afford to play like all the new stuff. So to me, like all the classics, all of the relic kind of games, that is what I kind of push myself towards to. But
Right.
yeah, the PS5, all Sony wants to do is just push out new stuff. So like, you know what? You guys can do that. I'm out. I will happily play PS1 games every single day. And luckily, I will say that Sony is pretty chill with emulation. Like they're not really, they're not as well. Actually, no, they're pretty chill in general. To be honest, like Nintendo's
Hmm.
the worst with it. But I mean, with Sony though, like they're pretty chill about emulating. So, like I still, that's cool. I'll still buy the games on Steam for sure because I mean, maybe I want to play Ratchet and Clank one of these days. So
Right.
yeah, and then of course they made the PS5 controller compatible with the PC. So it's like, I mean, PlayStation, they seem to be wanting to make more user-friendly decisions, and it's working out fine. You know, I just
Make
wish
that
that they would.
crossover.
Oh yeah, I just wish that they would consider, the people who kind of put them in that position. 'Cause I mean, the little kids. I mean, you're gonna have little kids buying this stuff up every time. It doesn't matter what the console is. 'Cause I mean, like, little Timmys are buying Fortnite anyway, so it's like, you can already guarantee they'll buy the console. Just
Hmm.
throw us a bone. But I mean, I keep let me not harp about it, because I mean, I'm pretty sure I talked about this thing like almost 5 times. Like at every podcast I talk about this. I try
You're
to avoid
fine.
it. Is just, it's, I don't know, I guess I keep doing it in hopes that maybe they'll do something different down the line, but that's just wishful thinking.
So I know that so they changed a little bit of the PS Plus stuff. So they have like PS Premium. I think includes the classics catalog, which is nice because you do get some of like those older games that would be on like the PS3 and the PS4. So
Yeah,
that's kind of nice. Like, I mean, because you've got like the Ghostbusters games and the Ratchet and Clank games and just a lot of the classics in here.
yeah, and it would just it would be a lot better. Actually, I think it should be. I can't say it should be minimum, but like I mean, they should be giving us more of the classics, because I mean, like there's only so much a person can play in terms of modern games until they get bored. I mean, like you know even though they have a good list of pretty good looking exclusive games, it's not a lot. You have Ghost, I mean, you have God of War, Horizon, Uncharted, Last of Us, and like just that's really it. I mean, yeah, like like in terms of the big blockbuster games. So it's like, I mean, you know, if you're not going to give people those games on PS Plus day one, then you gotta have something else. So giving us a lot more of the classics would be better. Like giving us more of Sony history, giving us more of that would be great. So I mean,
Mhm.
I'm glad they have it, but it's never it never is a case of good job, Sony. It's a case of you did the bare minimum. At least for me, I'm somebody who I look at it through an old man's eyes. So I keep it that way. But yeah,
I
I do get your point, Pizza. I was just gonna say, I was shocked you said PS3 at first because I was like, I knew you were the PS2 man. I know you like your Ratchet and Clank, Spyro, and all that. But even like when you're talking about, right, I was just thinking, a lot of companies are guilty for that. Xbox may like kind of bypass that aspect, like not, representing the old platformers or whatever kind of game it was that we all enjoyed growing up, because there isn't a lot to Xbox's history yet. There's, I mean, they've been around for a while, right? But they're still kind of branching themselves up. But I think the best comparison is Nintendo, and we do hear it often too with Nintendo just as much, right? That there isn't enough Mario games, or how long has it been since we waited for another Metroid Prime, right? So I feel like PlayStation. I mean, I totally get what you're saying. Like, yeah, they should represent some of those old games, but I think a lot of companies are guilty for that too.
oh
I'm
yeah,
sure if Sega was still kicking it, we'd all be bitching, going like, "Oh, when's the next?" I mean, I know we had a new Sonic game, but you know what I mean. Like, we would probably bitch about that too. Like, when's the next Sonic game coming out already, or whatever mascot they would have at that moment that they were using.
I
I
feel
think it
like
was like Super Monkey Ball was their other big one that they had there for a while. Sorry, Zichik, you go ahead.
I know. I was just going to say, I feel like when you're super nerding it up and you like a variety of games and you're good at games and you play through a game, of course you're going to want like, now, or the games that you're used to playing, your nostalgia games. Of course you're going to want to, get back to those roots. But I'm loving my PS5. I love the PS4 too. I didn't like the menu. Like I said, like the menu was just different from the PS3 to the PS4, and I feel like now the PS5 is kind of went back to the PS3 like menu-ish. I'm not saying that PS4 was like hard to maneuver or anything. It was just different to get used to it. But now I feel like my PS5 is back to its roots, so to speak.
I say the minute you said that, Zichik, like beforehand when you were talking about the PS4 compared to the PS3, I agree with you, because I do like I was thinking back, I was like, yeah, the PS3 menu was actually like really
Like
decent
the
for sliding
fluidity,
through.
right? Yeah, it was just like
Yeah,
the maneuvering of it. Well, the PS5 is the same, I think. As far it's just a little fancier. I like that you can like game capture, like on the PS5, you can game capture like an hour of your play, and if you want to upload it right to YouTube, you can, or save it and edit it because it even has free editing software on there. So you can edit right from
Yeah,
the PS5. I don't use it
that's
that
cool.
often, but sometimes I do. I like that you can take like little, little clip captures and upload them right to YouTube and Twitter. I've been trying to do that a little bit more. I don't always, but I'm still learning it. I basically just game and stream right from it. So, but I
That's
love
kind of
it.
like where I'm at too. Like I was saying to you guys, like every time I find a feature, I get all excited and I shout out to you guys in Discord right away. But like one thing first, like I'm still blown away that the PlayStation 4 could stream directly to YouTube
Isn't that
and
awesome?
the Xbox One couldn't. I was like, why did they do that on there? But even like I was saying earlier on the podcast, right? Still a huge shout out to Nintendo for not even doing that at all. I don't know why they don't have that as a feature for a
Or
new
like from the
generation.
Switch, like why can't you just like boom?
Yeah, like
That would be so
oh
awesome if you could just like I have so many games for the Switch. If you could just like boom and go. That would be so
yeah,
great.
right. Like I don't know, it'd be cool to watch someone like you guys or whoever, right? Just play like a Mario game, like just boom instantly. Yeah, like just frustrates me.
So my husband does
Um,
have like thousands of games, like old school classic games on an emulator on his PC. I just don't know, like he's always at work. So I don't know how
yeah,
to access them and like make sure they're running good before I start a stream. So I could totally play any of those. I just don't know how to do it. I'm not tech savvy like he is. That's why I stream from the console.
oh yeah, no,
I
same
mean,
here,
if he
same here.
showed me, I probably would. But my thing is like Streamlabs or Twitch Studios when all that shit starts going crazy and you're dropping frames and stuff. I'm just like, I'm gonna rage quit and go to the PlayStation. That's pretty much where I go.
And like the
It's
other cool
terrible, but
feature I thought was like I always saw you guys had it, but I guess it just never clicked in my head was the fact that your chat menu is right there on the TV. I
yeah.
love that. Like how smart was that? Like it was just little things like that that I like I said that's what I'm at least enjoying it right now the PS4. Like it's just like yeah, it's just like there's little tiny things that they did that I was like, you know what, that's big that was big moves. Like I'm that makes me very happy as a gamer.
And the only difference I think like from the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5 is like you still can see the chat like that. It doesn't stay, but like when somebody messages, it like comes on for a few seconds and you guys don't see it in stream, but I do. So it's on my TV and it's right
Oh
there, but I can see it. Or like when I'm pulling up a text menu in a game. So you know how like you're in Genshin, you can text somebody else that's in Genshin
yeah.
by like just pushing square or whatever. Um, I can, text the message or whatever, but it won't show up on my stream, which I like. And
Oh,
I
that's kind of cool.
and I can, turn off any notifications that are coming on. You know how you always get like that friend request or message or whatever across your screen on the PlayStation 4 sometimes when you're playing.
Yep,
It won't show up when I'm streaming because it's disabled. It's like just like a do not disturb kind of thing. So
that's cool. That makes
that
it
I like.
very professional.
Yeah. So I'm not getting all these dings or whatever anymore. So I'm like, yeah, I'm fancy.
That's nice. Yeah, I like that. There was something else that was really simple. Oh yeah, the Twitter thing you mentioned too. I do like that too because I noticed the PS4 I was able to do that. It's not like instantaneous like you were saying. I think I have to actually click on the screenshot itself, and then I can choose to upload it to Twitter. So that was kind of cool. I know Xbox had that kind of feature as well, but I think theirs was more focused on the actual Xbox app itself. And then from the app, you could upload it to whatever social media you wanted.
I know on the PS4 you can also set it like once your Twitter's connected, which I think yours is already, right? So
Yep.
I think in your broadcast settings you can set it to like have a live announcement. So each time you go
That's
live,
cool.
it'll show it. It'll just shoot it right to Twitter saying, Mindful is live, come say hi, or whatever message you want to post on there. If you check a certain box in those broadcast settings, it'll automatically notify your Twitter every time you're live.
Damn, Z-Chick, you blew me away. This entire time, I thought you were just like this badass promoter because I was like, man, she always remembers to like put her live message. I was like, I
No,
always
it's
forget that.
auto. It's auto setup. It's auto setup.
That's awesome. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll have
so
to
you can do
keep her
that.
around.
Yeah, if you want any help, just message me on PlayStation or on Discord or whatever. But yeah, you
Yeah,
can
no,
set
of
that up.
course.
Yeah.
I am curious, Pizza, if you had a chance to look. I will say the one thing that kind of got me excited too was you were talking about like not Game Pass, but you're talking about the PlayStation Plus version of Game Pass. Um, um, I don't know if you've looked at the catalog recently, the top what Z-Chick was saying, but in there, I got pretty jacked. I'm not gonna lie. There was like some big titles in there that I'm like, yeah, man, I haven't played that one. Like I did notice you mentioned Z-Chick. Like there is some PlayStation 3 thrown in there now, and
Yeah.
like you said, a lot of PlayStation 4. Which I'm curious too. Is PlayStation 4 not backwards compatible with PS5, or is it just PS5 games you can play?
I can play my PS4 games on my PS5.
Okay, so at least it's like one
You
generation
just can't
backwards
do
compatible.
anything older than that. You can't do any of the PlayStation 3 on disc anyways. You can do the digital versions if they're available in that classics catalog.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, just like how Xbox does their older generations.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. I don't know if you ever looked at the catalog, Pizza, but there was like I don't know when I
There's quite
looked
a bit
through
in
it.
there.
Yeah, like in all honesty, when I looked at the PlayStation one, yes, there's a lot of same things that Game Pass had, but I felt like maybe it's because I haven't played PlayStation in a long time. There's a lot of games on there that are making me go like, "Oh my god, I want to play that one! Holy crap, that's on there!" Where maybe like I said, maybe I just had a little bit of fatigue with Xbox because like when I was on the Game Pass list, right, like I'm excited, right? But a lot of the games are like, okay, yeah, I'll try that one out because it's on Game Pass and it's free, right? When I was looking at the PlayStation menu, like I saw Uncharted on there, and I was like, holy crap, like I need to play that. Like I missed out on that whole series. Like I don't know, I felt a lot more excited when I looked at that list. But I was just curious if you looked at it recently.
Yeah, I've seen it a few times, and like, yeah, I think it's pretty cool that they have it. Like just how like they have games on there to kind of get people into it. And I would be okay. Well, not say that because I mean I'm acting like I have a PlayStation. I mean my brother has PlayStation. I mean I'm sure he has PS Plus, which I mean, like it's cool if you do. Like I still support Sony. Well, I mean I support them like from afar, but
Of course.
yeah,
You'll cheer them on, but you're not going to partake.
oh yeah, yeah, pretty much. But, yeah, like they have a pretty good list so far right now. That's it's definitely it's worth the investment. I think that like getting a PS5 now. I mean, like like I saw PS5 in store for only $400. Like for a disc version because I guess they were just trying to get rid of it now, which that's pretty cool. So I mean, if you want to buy one, you got
I
so many
had
good
to have
games.
the disc version
Yeah, so I mean,
Oh, same here.
yeah,
because I
getting
just had too many. We have too many games that are on that we had for the PS4 that were I'm like, I'm still going to want to play these.
oh yeah,
I'm just a physical copy like nerd. Like I have to have a physical copy of the game.
It's like
yeah.
me in books. I need to smell them when I read them.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine getting a digital version. I mean, I get that it's cheaper and all, but it's like, I still buy physical stuff because I couldn't see myself being digital only just because, a lot of the games I buy, I just like having the physical thing there. It just, I don't know,
Yeah.
about it just, it's like, it's just something I like doing. So I'm gonna keep it, plus I have all these still from other games too, so it's like, why not get the physical version of the game at this point?
Absolutely.
So yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, I like the Xbox. I was like, get the Series S or the X. I'm like the Series S is smaller. I mean, it is super. I mean, like you could carry it all day and not even feel it. But I mean, no disk drive. So I got a Series X, which I mean that thing is you could break a window with that. Like somebody, like you can cut away school with that thing. It is heavy. But I mean,
That's great.
like, you're playing games at 60 FPS. Almost every game at 60 FPS. Actually, no, I'm saying every game at 60 FPS. I mean, like you are blazing through shit. So it's nice, but yeah, it definitely is it has its little it has its flaws for sure. But yeah, as far as like PlayStation goes, yeah, I think that if people want to get into it, they definitely should because I don't think that Sony's going to stop doing this method of business because they're making good money following Game Pass, and they're making good money pushing out games and really making them more accessible. So you know, and the best part, PS5s they're only getting cheaper.
Hmm.
I don't think that we're going to have a situation where it's going to become hard to get. I mean, especially since you can go on eBay and like you can find thousands of PS5s for sale for less than original price. So I'm like, there is no reason why you shouldn't get one. Because I can see why somebody's saying I'll get a PS4 because it's cheaper, but I'm like, why not get a PS5? I mean, at this point in time, you're really paying for the higher, like you're paying for better frame rates and you're paying for high resolution. Like I think that's worth the extra $30 or $40.
I loved my PS4. I I would have probably. I mean, we still have a PS4. My son uses that PS4. But what happened was my sister sent me a PS4, and then my husband for my birthday. My birthday's in January, and so it was like a birthday Valentine's kind of combo gift. I got the PlayStation 5, and I was like, yes. And then I was like, and then I heard Mindful was looking for one, and I was like, bet this is good. This is good. Pay it forward.
It's such a great gift.
And now I love it. I would have never even considered like getting it because I was very happy with my PS4. You know what I mean?
I think that's good. That's good. Yeah, I think that maybe had I had my PS4 had been more, I guess, stronger, I would have stuck with it. But yeah, two strikes. I mean, that was like, even though I like
It's
the PlayStation, I'm not about to go through all of this again. So I still I bought a PS4 controller for my PC games that are like that tech and that require like that joystick analog
Mm-hmm.
thing. So I'm like, I'll get that. I'll keep it for that. And of course, once I buy Ratchet and Clank, I'm gonna buy the DualSense because you get the haptics, kind of already native. So I'm like, yeah, I'll get that too. But
I mean,
yeah,
if I would have had problems with it like you did, I'd have obviously like a different opinion, but I didn't have
yeah,
any
it's
issues.
it's totally understandable because that's exactly what Ketcher brought up. He had the 360 and he had the red ring of death. I think twice happened to him, and
Yeah.
after that, he didn't want to play Xbox anymore. And like, I get it. Like, I mean, that sucks. Like, that really does suck to have it happen to you. And even in your case too, Pizza. Like you said, you had a lot of issues going on too with the PlayStation. Like, I totally get it. And I was gonna say, like, more power to you, man. I say preach that shit as much as you want about bringing back older games because I feel like that's something that won't happen until you just keep bitching about it over and over and over and over again, and the
Right.
companies finally listen to you, right? Like,
And
it's
best in
annoying.
box.
Yeah, like I'm sure like all of us have that one game that we're like, come on, make a sequel already, like.
yeah, it's just like, and I'm sure that one day we will. I think that, maybe with Sony, like when with them kind of seeing that there are people who are, like playing these older games. Like for example, we're looking at people who are playing Metal Gear Solid, like we have the collection coming out. So I think that Sony is realizing that like there are some people out here who, like they just want to play the classics and so they're catching on. It's slow but sure, but they're catching on. And we'll see what happens. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm not gonna act like I hate PlayStation. I mean,
Oh
I
gosh, no, I don't
I
think
would,
that.
I would definitely. Well, I'm not gonna say I would definitely, but I mean, I'll still buy the shirts because I mean, like, I am a sucker for the PS1. Like that was, that was the boss console. Well, I mean, sorry, back then it was the boss console. So, I will rep my PlayStation Nation. I'm not a fanboy though, because I mean, those crazy.
Oh yeah. I know you talked about PS2 a few times, Pizza, but I'm just curious, was there ever a PlayStation 1 game that you would want to see a sequel of, or like a remaster or anything?
Mm, That's a that's a good question. Like, there's a lot of games on there that I would love to kind of see. Let me see. I think really there are like they're obscure Japanese games though, which I mean so. And I probably know they do have like remasters of those games. There's a game like called Tobal or Tobal. I'm not sure how you say it, but like when the game came out, I'm guessing it was like a competitor to the game, to like Tekken and things like that. But I mean, it was so obscure because it was just a random Japanese game that people never really heard of. So I mean, they never cared about it. And so when they got the sequel, Topol #2, it was only in Japan. And from what I have been seeing on like just Twitter, Reddit, they have more Topol games only in Japan, and they're not coming to America because I guess it's just a case where no one's buying them, so why would they release it? Which is a shame because like there are so many games in Japan that are already getting remastered. Like they have like they may have about 5 more Yakuza games that are Japan only that are not coming to the West because there's no market for it. What I mean? And just like with Final
Yeah.
Fantasy, they have completely different campaigns with extra content, but it's only in Japanese. So like, like we're not really getting all of the content. It's still locked behind the region. So, I would say I want this game remastered, but they have sequels for days over there. But I can't do Japanese. Me no speaky that.
So true though, yeah, I get you. There are some definitely amazing games that are in Japan that we will never get the light of day to see.
Yeah,
Um,
it makes me wonder how Final Fantasy is going to look in Japan because I know for a fact that they have extra content. Like there's no way that they would give us like everything. Because I know for a fact that with the Yakuza games, like we're missing 2 games from the Yakuza series that are in Japan, and we're not going to see that anytime soon because when a new game comes out, I mean, even though it's getting a lot of views and reactions on Twitter, that means nothing. Like, I mean, well, yeah, it means nothing because, people on Twitter, they just talk. That's what I've seen.
so
They,
true.
they oh my God, a new game. That's really it. But yeah, they're not going to buy it because, like like a Dragon series or like the Yakuza item, like the remaster of a classic game, it was not selling too hot. So, I think that Japan, they're seeing the numbers and they're saying, you know what? If they're not going to buy it, we're not going to make it. If they're not going to buy it, we're not going to put it to them. So, yeah. And I think that it's going to be the same thing with Final Fantasy. They're going to have all these characters, all these campaigns just stuck with Japan. Or they may have 3 new Final Fantasy games that are only in Japan because I mean that's their thing, So that's it is what it is. If I could speak Konnichiwa one day, I will. I mean, sorry, if I could speak Japanese one day, I will. I'm sorry, that was racist.
No, I totally get you. I mean, that'd be freaking cool to learn a different language, actually. um, What about you, Chick? What was one of your favorite memories of the PlayStation?
My favorite memories from the PlayStation.
Yeah, it could be like a game. So, for example, 2-6, he shouted out the God of War series for the PS2. That was one of his favorites. The same with Guitar Hero.
Oh, Guitar Hero.
I
That
know,
was so
right?
much
Okay,
fun.
we looked it up and we blew each other's mind. If the last one to come out was 2011, and that's when they ended it. I was like, it can't be that old. Like, I feel like I just had
It
one
is
come out.
that old. It is that old. Yeah,
Oh
that would
man.
be, yeah, because we used to play it together. Like me, Spider, and our oldest son, Zach. We used to just like jam out.
That'd be so cool to see Spider play that. Yeah, I could just totally see him being a badass with the guitar.
Okay, so Spider's colorblind. And he was
No,
really,
what?
really good at this fucking game.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought you
Like,
knew that. Yeah,
was
no.
he like one of those people that like just play it by the music? Because I know some people played it that way too.
Just watching where it flashes, really.
Damn.
And like,
Okay.
like trying to memorize like the song. Yeah. So like even when he plays any kind of game, if it doesn't have colorblind mode, I mean it's a challenge.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Because
That's cool.
he's not like, how some people are like blue or like green colorblind, they're just like a certain, and this is not minimizing anyone else who has just a slight color blindness. I'm just trying to emphasize that Spider sees like in monochrome, like more like a texture colorblind. Like he sees zero color.
I mean, this just takes his video game skills to a whole new level. Because
Whole new
now I'm
level,
gonna,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Whole new level.
Now when I rewatch him play Dark Souls, I'm gonna be like, wow.
Playing Minecraft, just think about it. Playing Minecraft. What? How? I don't even know how you do it, dude.
That's talent.
Right. And I always like, when I have too many edibles and we're chilling, I'm always like, man, I wish I could see the way that you see things just for like a day. Because like I just get deep in thought about it. And I'm like, so what does this look like to you? And he tells me. And then I'm just like, I really don't get it. Because I really don't get it.
Yeah.
So when we were first like just friends and like, turning that are we gonna date kind of situation. He sat me down I remember it was my old HP fucking big ass computer, and he sat me down and he pulled out the whole color wheel, right? Because I was like, I just
Yeah.
don't get it. I don't get how you don't see color. Like that's just fucking what happened to you. And the thing is, he was born like that. Nothing happened to him,
Yeah.
guys. He was just born with a lack of luxurious color. Anyway, so he, busted out the color wheel and, he actually just showed me like what shades he sees, I guess. Like, so I was like, well, what does yellow look like to you? And then so he would go and he would find it. And he's like, well, this is yellow to me. I was like, that is not fucking yellow, yo.
That's so smart. Yeah, that's probably the best way to show somebody.
I'm like,
Wow.
that's not yellow. That's like fucking orange and shit, And he's like, well, is this yellow? I'm like, no, that's fucking lime green, dude. No. And it's always like, because like red and purple and like hunter green, like all those look basically the same for him.
Wow.
But if you lose something, like our oldest son, Zach, lost a necklace with my brother's ashes in it when he was like skinny dipping out at the trestle and whatever, and he lost the necklace and I was kind of losing it because it was my necklace, whatever, and I was like, well, it's gone. And Spider and Zach went out at like 10, 11 o'clock at night, went back out to where the ropes are, where the trees and by the creek. Spider found it in like 5 seconds because he can see in texture. Like it stands out differently. It's not grass. It's not dirt. It's a shiny, smooth urn on a chain. So
Spider Hero, that's like superhero power, Spider.
I
Like,
know.
holy moly.
Like when I'm looking for shit in the dark, I'm like, hey, cat vision, come here. Or like if we lose a Lego because our carpet is like brown and it's it's like, it's regular brown carpet, whatever. You lose a Lego, you can't fucking see that shit, especially if that Lego is black or fucking brown and it's tiny little fucker. Spider's like, it's right here. I'm like, I fucking love you. I have my own superhero.
That's
Fuckers, be
awesome.
jealous. No, but he can't. He
Life
can't like
goals
wire a
complete.
stereo without my help. So he's almost not. You know.
That's why you guys are like the.
Yeah, like
That's why
when
you
he's
guys are like the
wiring
perfect
something,
duo.
he's wiring something. He's like, "Babe, what color is this?" I was like, "What color do you need it to be?" First, and then he's like, "Well, the book says this." I was like, "Okay, it's this one here, babe." So
That's too funny. Oh, that's good though. So you're the perfect duo.
right.
Um,
I'm just trying to see how you guys go skinny dipping with an urn on you. That seems.
Well, he didn't. He took it off, and that's why it was in the grass. He couldn't see it when like it got dark. My son did. He couldn't because my son was the one that was skinny dipping. He took it off, and he said he hung it on a branch on a tree. And then after like swimming, drinking, doing all his teenage rebellious shit he was doing, when he went to get dressed, it wasn't on the branch anymore. And he looked all over the floor, looked all over the ground. He's like, "Oh shit, I hope it didn't get in the water." He came home and he was like crying. He was either really high and just started to cry to play it off, or he was crying and that was legit. But he woke me up to tell me that he lost it. And Spider, and of course I was upset and I was crying or whatever. And Spider's like, "Man, we'll go find it." And they went and they found it. He came back with it, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Eagle eye.
So, lesson learned: no more skinny dipping with your brother's ashes or your people's ashes, because
Right?
that's something, all right.
He was like 15. He doesn't, you don't think about shit.
so
You
true.
really
Yeah.
just don't think about shit when you're that old, that young. I know I didn't. Oof.
He just lived in the moment.
I mean, I kind of still do live in the moment, but with responsibilities.
That's right. Yeah. There are consequences. Now I realize this.
Right. We have adult money and we have play money. Oh. Yeah.
If you guys are okay with it, I got a little quiz for you, like I was saying. Would you guys be down to try one out? It's only 10 questions.
Let's go. I may have to get Spider in on my answers.
I was literally saying that like when I started this podcast. I was like, man, I said the last one was only good because Spider got so into it.
Spider is
I'm
like
upset.
a nerd.
Oh yeah, he definitely made it entertaining last time.
He's out there
Um,
typing. Oh, go
okay,
ahead.
so my first one for you guys was, and then same as last time, right? Like everyone gets a turn to answer it. 2-6. I hope you're okay. Do a little quiz.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, buddy. All right. Okay. So, well, speaking of which, this might be kind of a giveaway because if you were on the stream earlier, I kind of said it. But Sony first entered the gaming market with Nintendo in 1988. Which console was Sony going to work with on with Nintendo?
Spider knows this one. I know.
I guess what the NES. I don't know.
So you think the Super Nintendo? Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm guessing either Nintendo or the Super Nintendo, or it was like some prototype they had, or it was like it was gonna play. Yeah, like they had some prototype. I don't know what it was called though, but they scrapped it because.
You are right. Yeah, they did have a prototype, but there was actually a console from Nintendo that they were going to add that prototype to.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. 2-6. Do you have a guess?
I do not.
What do you think, Z-Chick and Spada?
He said it was going to be the what?
It was going to be the Nintendo PlayStation, their first CD-based game.
Nintendo PlayStation, first CD-based game console.
Yeah, like like I was saying, that was the prototype. And 2-6 got it right. It was actually the Super Nintendo it was going to attach to. So kind of like how the Sega Genesis had all of its attachments. This was actually supposed to be like an attachment onto it. So you could do the Super Nintendo or you could do the.
Come in for a minute.
No worries.
Hello, hello.
Hello. And the funny part with this, I was gonna say, because I was reading a little more into it, right? Eventually, obviously, we all know Nintendo rejected that offer, right? After so long, and I guess Sony, to get back at them, went to Sega to do the same idea, which Sega responded with, "No, this is a stupid idea," and they have no idea about the hardware business, which obviously, well, we could see which one won in the end in the hardware game. So yeah, that one kind of cracked me up a little bit.
Oh, it was absolutely. I mean, that's when I quit buying Nintendo products. Actually,
I could see that because reading it, that was some pretty shady shit. Like they didn't say anything to them. I think they said until like a couple days after their new negotiation was complete with Philips.
Yep.
Yeah, that was some pretty shady stuff.
That was a terrible idea because the Philips, the CDI was terrible because like they tried doing like the whole like full motion video thing, and the issue is that like the FMV, it looked good on some games, but on some other games it looked terrible. So it's like like Sony, they wasted a lot of money. Like what they should have done was just like try and sweet talk, that like maybe Atari, because at least like you have a video game
Ooh, yeah.
attached to a video game company. Like it's not just Sony making a game and then having a movie attached to it. Which I mean, it works nowadays, but only because they have the graphics to kind of match it. But yeah, back then though, their movies, cutscenes, it really was just like you had to enjoy FMVs that were like choppy and all looking ugly. They got the ball on that one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Atari's actually a good shout. I never thought of that. Yeah, it would have been a very interesting combo, Sony and Atari. I know, right? Like that would have been kind of crazy. When did the PlayStation 1 come out? And to help out like I did last time, Japan, it came out December 3rd, 1994, sorry. But we're looking for the North America launch date.
The American launch date for the Sony PlayStation? I don't even, honestly, I got no freaking clue.
When I first
So like I said, so the Japan one came out December 3rd, 1994.
Well, I mean, like what, 99 then or 96?
So you think 96?
I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah,
What about?
I don't know. 96 is a good guess. I would.
no.
But 94 was
It's
in Japan, so it was after that. Was it 95?
This is supposed to be like the Price is Right person right now. I guess is like the one higher.
Exactly. He's going with 95.
95, all right. What about you, 26? When do you think it came out?
I'm going to say 95.
95? You guys are correct. So it came out September 9th, 1995.
95, bitches!
Which is kind of crazy, eh? Like, the other one came out December 3rd the previous year, and it took almost a full year for it to release in North America. That's kind of nuts.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that they probably saw people clamoring for one, because I don't know. I feel as though I think that if Japan had seen us and like say, what, though, these Americans, they don't want no PlayStation, like that would have been a huge dent in their little money pool.
Okay.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, because I learned that like with the first two Final Fantasy games, we never got the authentic version of Final Fantasy. We got the dumbed down version because they thought that we didn't know what RPGs were, and so they gave us like just the more I guess bastardized versions. But I mean,
we got the Dollar Tree version, just the.
It's so true.
So I mean, it worked out in the end, but still, I think that people they want to see the Japan version in like some kind of English subtitles.
On the same launch there, when the PS1 actually came out, if you never checked before, definitely check out, by the way, the first 15 games of the PS1. Like, we're talking like Windows 95 starter games. Like there was actually like fucking Mahjong on there as one of their launch titles. But what was the first game to launch with the PS1?
Ooh, I have no idea. Spider, what was the first game to launch with the PS1? Spyro. He said Spyro.
Spyro, okay. Do you have a guess, 2-6?
Do not.
What about you, Pizza?
I don't. I mean, either that or Crash. I mean, actually, well, yeah.
Oh, Crash Bandicoot. Yeah, that's a good guess.
Well, see, I'm an American though, so I only know about those two. I feel as
I'm with you.
They probably had a game that was released in Japan that is their first game that wasn't even remotely close to our answer. But I'm only assuming those because that's what I can tell you about the PS1, like in its early
I
years.
forgot about that game.
I'll probably butcher the last part of this, but it's Battle Arena Toshiden. It's like I said, if you ever get a chance, like definitely look up the first 15 games. These are like the most random games. Like I feel like they were just grabbing anything. Like fucking Solitaire, let's do it. Like like it's just such a random launch. I honestly thought it was gonna be like Crash, Spyro, but no, those were actually later on. The launch titles were very, very random. And then hey Django, I think that's you, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Django. How's it going,
What
buddy?
about Bestie?
Yeah. What's up, everybody?
You
Hey,
came on
DJ.
a good time, buddy. We're doing a quick little PlayStation quiz. So yeah, the next question was how much did the first PlayStation sell for?
$200.
75 bucks.
$35?
I don't know.
Damn.
I don't know. I'm guessing.
No worries. Okay. And sorry, Z-Chick, you said how much? 200?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Pizza 26?
Say 100.
100? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say what? Well, she said 200. I'm gonna say 300.
I'm gonna change mine to $1.
$1.
I feel like we're on the Price is Right
Yes,
now,
yes,
motherfuckers.
that's it right there. Price is right.
I'm going to say 110. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm with a lot of you guys, but Pizza, yeah, you got it right. It was $300, but I honestly thought it would be a lot cheaper than that. I'm shocked that it was $300 when it first came out.
What?
But I had a PS1 and there's no way in hell I paid $300. I guarantee you. And it
There's
wasn't.
no way in hell my mama paid $300. She got it from somebody.
Yeah,
Yep.
but it wasn't used either. So there's no way I paid
Yeah,
$300.
no, my mom got it bootleg from somebody.
But you think about it too, right? Like that was one of the first systems too where you could play CDs on. Like I could see
Oh yeah,
how
that's
they would
true.
probably advertise it. Like it's worth $300, folks. Look what it can do.
But another
Yeah.
thing to think about is back in the day, they didn't sell it as a combo package like they do now, where
Right.
it's the console, it's controllers, it's 3 games.
Yeah, you had to get that shit
They
separate.
didn't do that. Yeah, they didn't do that.
Excuse me.
At the time, it was the console and maybe 1 controller, and that was it.
Yeah, that's very true.
It's not like today where you buy a bundle, a PS5 bundle, and you get shit ton games and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
On the nerdy side of things, as we slowly end the PS1 discussion of this quiz, how much memory did you guys think the PS1 memory card had?
4 gig.
Oh,
4
my
gig,
God.
okay.
Did you say a gig?
I said 4.
4. I'm gonna say 8.
No,
I'm-
I bet you it was even in not even gig. I bet you it was KBs.
Oh,
I'll
you're
bet you.
really-
I'll bet you it's 256 KB.
oh my goodness.
256, okay, okay.
I'm gonna say 2 gig.
2 gig, okay. Pizza, what do you think, buddy?
I think as my going away answer,
Spider, what was-
I'm gonna say I'm gonna just say 1 gig.
how big was the first
Yeah.
card?
The first one was 16 megs, I think.
He said 16 megs.
Django Django definitely got it. It was 128 kilobytes.
128 kilobytes.
It was pretty damn small.
It's a baby. That wouldn't hold a game.
I know, right? You
That
think
would
you had
just
like all
hold
those
an
little
outfit.
icons too?
It's gonna hold my guns.
I think it was like when the PlayStation 2 launched. I think that's when we were starting into gigabytes.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
What's
I know, right? Like
does everybody have a favorite PlayStation 1 game? The one game that was like it sucked you into the PlayStation world. For me, it was Tekken 3.
it was
I
which
don't
one, Django?
Tekken 3.
Tekken 3.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I played. We had one, but I don't think I played it because I had 3 brothers. If that makes any sense.
Oh yeah.
And
I
they
say
would
like
beat me up, so I was abused from the yeah. No, I'm just kidding. They didn't beat me up. I'm sorry, that wasn't funny. I'm sorry, that wasn't funny.
See, Jack. No, we get you. I'd say I gotta remember like certain games, like a lot stood out, but I definitely have to shout the demo discs. Like those things were like my go-to in all
Oh, yeah.
honesty. Every PlayStation magazine, like I had to grab the next demo disc.
Well, that's actually how I found Tekken was a demo. Because on the demo disc, you could only play Ling Xiao and Eddie Gordo. That's all you got was 2 Tekken 3 players. That's all you got. But that was enough to make me buy that damn game.
Exactly, right? Yeah, no, they definitely picked good parts in every level for the demos. There was definitely a lot of games I begged my mom for afterwards, getting those magazines.
That's funny.
Pizza 26, did you guys have any PS1 games?
Spider, do you have a PS1 game that was your favorite?
Spider in here?
He's talking with Z-Chick.
Oh.
They're communicating.
What was the Solid Snake?
He said
That's-
Gran Turismo.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Turismo, yeah. What was that spy game with the Solid Snake was your character? And it was like everything was
Metal Gear Solid?
that sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one too, actually. Same with Driver. Speaking of Gran Turismo, Driver was another good one on the PlayStation 1. To hell with that goddamn parking lot, though, tutorial level. It was bullshit. Okay, so we talked about the PS1. PS2, what do you guys think the launch price for that one was? So we said the PlayStation 1 was $300. I will say this as a hint. It shocked me. It actually shocked me. I thought it would.
I'd go to 225 on that.
Okay, yeah, good guess. Okay.
I'm gonna go with 250.
Nice.
We're gonna Price is Right this shit.
$1.
180.
180 for you, 26? Okay. And then Pizza, I don't know if you're still there or not, buddy. Did you want to take a shout?
Yeah, I'll take a shot. I'm gonna head out of here just for the night. But I'm gonna say 300.
Well, buddy, you're leaving out here like a champion because it actually was 300. It was the same price as the PlayStation 1.
They were like, we made this much money, I might as well keep it there, right?
Yeah, it's like, let's not mess with a good thing. Let's just keep it that price.
Right. Let's not fuck up a good thing. It's good money.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Nice pizza. Nice
Bye,
call.
Pizza. Have a good night, buddy.
Good night,
Right,
Pizza.
see you,
Chatting.
What else care?
Yeah, be good. He was on the point on that.
I know, yeah. He has his knowledge. I know we talked about it a little bit tonight too, about the PlayStation 3, but do you guys remember when the PlayStation 3 launched?
99.
Which one, Jacob?
No, wait, after that. That
2000.
can't be 99.
You're going to say 2000, Z-Chick? Okay.
I'm gonna say 2000.
PS3. I'm gonna say
2000 or
I'd-
2000 or 2001. Shoot, no, 2000. 2000.
I'm gonna go later. I'll say 2004.
Ooh.
A little bit
Does
late.
Spider have a guess?
Spider, PS3 launch. Hold on, he's got his headset on.
I mean, what do I know? I have a beagle sucking on my fingers.
It's okay. I would have been nothing without Google
He said,
today.
I can't think. He's shooting things. Alien, CT.
No worries. So Django, you definitely were the closest. It was November 17th, 2006.
What
Really?
the frick?
Because
Yeah, I know.
Really?
Well, so the reason for my thought is that I remember having a PS1 in 1999 when I got my apartment, my first apartment. And so it
Dang,
couldn't
we're
have been
old.
before 2000. Oh, shut up. So I knew, shut up, Z. So I knew.
I'm old too. Dang. I still think you're sexy.
I knew it couldn't have been before 2000. But then I was like, well, shit. But then there was the PS2, and then we're talking about PS3, and they usually do their releases like, what, every 2 or 3 years, roughly?
Yeah. Yeah, about that, yeah. Which actually is my next part of my question. How long was the PS3's lifespan? So from start to finish. So remember, this part I didn't realize until I Googled it, but it's a good one to put in. A life cycle can expand past a new generation's console.
Are you talking like the manufacturer's recommendation?
Yeah. So basically, no. I'm talking like the last console that got made by the actual like manufacturers.
Oh.
So, for example, PlayStation 2 went well past PlayStation 3's era. Like they were making PlayStation 2s for quite a while.
Okay, so the PlayStation. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say 36 years.
36 years, all right.
You are right on the nose.
We are locking it in.
So the PlayStation 3 you said was released in 2006?
Yes, yeah.
So I'm gonna say 2011.
I'm gonna say
For
2015.
5 years. Well, the PlayStation 3 did jump into the PlayStation 4's lifespan, and it actually lasted 11 years. But the longest running PlayStation console, no surprise, was the PS2, which lasted 13 years when they finally made it. And just for shits and giggles, I kind of looked to see which one was the longest console, and it was actually Atari one. But the second one to tie it was the Wii. The Wii actually got made almost all the way up until the end of the Wii U cycle, almost up to the Switch, which was kind of crazy. So Wii's were selling that long. Yeah. So 11 years.
Did we discuss who everybody's favorite PlayStation 2 game was?
No, I don't believe so. I think Pizza left his was the Sly Cooper Ratchet and Clank. He's very passionate about those ones.
Yeah, okay. I didn't play Ratchet and Clank until PS. For me, PS2 had a couple of good titles, of course. Most of the Final Fantasy 10 through 12, or 10x2, and a title called Dragon Guard.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I don't remember any PlayStation 2. Well, was Spyro a PlayStation 2 game?
I think so.
Yep.
And then that's probably the only game I played for the PlayStation 2, honestly. Well, no, I don't know. I think I said Rock Band, right? Or was that PlayStation 3?
What was the...
No, I think that was PlayStation 2 as well. I believe they had Rock Band during that era.
Was Sonic the Hedgehog Sega only, or did they port that to PlayStation also?
It did get ported, yeah. It was originally just Sega Genesis and Saturn and Dreamcast, and then once Dreamcast died, Sonic got he could be anyone's bitch basically at that point.
I kind of thought that. I thought that Sonic. Yeah. I did think that Sonic was on PS, so I'm sure that they got a lot of good popularity points.
Um, Before I get my answer, I just have to say, Zichik, like you seriously are like the luckiest gamer I know. Like the fact that you haven't played many PlayStation 2 titles just like makes my heart so happy. I'm just like, holy shit, you got so many great adventures ahead of you if you ever do dabble into that library. Uh,
The thing
um,
is, I think at that moment in my life, I was actually, I was a single mom. So
yeah,
I
no,
was like, I was momming it up.
I'm
So
just saying. I'm just saying, you got a lot of great times ahead of you. Like there's so many good titles. Yeah, what was mine again? Champions of Noreth. I don't know if you guys ever played that one before, but that will always be my shout out for the PlayStation 2. Amazing couch co-op, like I said before, definitely way better than Diablo. Sorry, Diablo fans. It was just so good. It was just a good action RPG. Especially when you're playing with your friends. It was just a fantastic time. You had your normal wizard, warrior, druid, whatever else there was. And yeah, just the story was just really good. It was set in the EverQuest series, if you guys ever played any of those. But yeah, just fantastic medieval game. Sorry, 26. What was your PlayStation 2 one? Was it God of War?
Yeah, it was God of War.
Yeah. Oh yeah, buddy.
I
Best
never
game.
could get into God of War because I had two different discs of the game. I had the greatest hits version and then the original, and every time I played God of War, it would glitch on me,
Oh,
and I never could play the game. I wanted to, but I couldn't.
said
that's so weird. Yeah.
you get no play time with me. That's what it said.
Yeah. Yep.
I never played God of War. I
The
have the two newest ones, I think. Sorry, I'm not
I
playing a
think
game right now.
I think Kazichik, like based on like how we talked about before, I think you'd like the old PlayStation 2 ones because there is a lot of badass like rip people apart, cutting things up, like just bloodbaths.
Yeah.
I think you'd get a good kick out of those ones if you ever get a chance to try them.
That
Um,
that kind of reminds me a little bit about Assassin's Creed. When does anybody know when did Assassin's Creed come out? Was that a PS3 title or a PS2 title?
yeah, it would
Um,
have to be PS3 because it came out during the 360 era for my
Okay.
side at least.
Okay, so PS3. Okay.
yeah.
It's not a short.
I didn't play any of those games either.
Oh! It's okay. I played the first one, not very long. I definitely want to go back and try the first three out again. I was making a joke, I think, on one of the streams. I have 2 copies of Black Flag, and both of them are still sealed. I've been meaning to play them.
Z-Chick, I'm shaking my head right now.
Well, okay, I was momming, guys. I was momming. I mean, from 19 to like 27. It was just me and my kiddo, man.
Just over the next month, she's going to get video game after video game from all of us. You need to try this one. You need to try this one.
So, and then I didn't start playing video games until the pandemic hit. I mean, I would play like random, like Gems of War, Bejeweled, your little puzzle, Frozen Free, all shit like that. But nothing like Skyrim or anything like that until, I mean, you were there, Frastus. You were there for that launch.
Oh yeah.
And then that was it. I was like, oh, I'm going to play everything. And so here we are. That's what happened.
One thing that kind of gets me though is like, you have titles over the years, because PlayStation alone, there's been PS1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Xbox has had what, 3 or 4 different iterations. You've had the Dreamcast and the Genesis, and you've had these different game platforms. But every one of these platforms, it doesn't matter. They all had a collection of games that were just stellar. They were amazing games, and everybody wanted to play them. But at some point, when they stepped up to the next iteration of that model, PlayStation 2 to 3, or 3 to 4, or Xbox to Xbox One, or whatever, somewhere the developer said, we're not gonna remake this game. We're not gonna port this game to the next level up. And you know that there were players who were so disheartened and so disappointed that a game that they loved beyond anything was dead. And I wish I could go back and play some of the games that I lost, in a sense, and can't play now.
Yeah, I feel that.
I just need like a clone to play games all day for me.
I mean, if you've been playing since the pandemic, though, Z-Chick, like, you've done a pretty damn good job of getting caught up on quite a few titles. You definitely knocked a few big heavy hitters out of the park.
Yeah, I just need to maybe take a break from like the games that never end.
It's so hard, though.
It is so hard because they're so good. So like, like right now I'm playing Genshin. But like when I do take a break from the games that don't, necessarily end, I do play them like all the way through. I do beat them. Like I'm
Yeah, so
definitely
you're really good at like actually finishing the game.
Yeah, when I actually do it. Yeah.
Hey, it's okay. I got a backlog that's shameful at this point.
I know. It's like it just if you could play the same, the game every day until you beat it, that would be one thing. But, sometimes you want variety. Or sometimes you're just in a mood where you just want to go kick some ass or slay some dragons or,
Yeah, like goddamn Jimmy. I don't know how he does it. He can finish a game in a week, and he's like, "Yeah, I just played it nonstop." I was like, "I can't do that, Jimmy. Like, I'm not built that way."
I did do that with the Life is Strange games, but they were more story, storytelling games.
But they're very short too, though, because I looked into the Life is Strange, and they're relatively short.
Yeah, so like the Until Dawn, and so any of those story like telling games. I got through those pretty quick. Or like the platformers like Limbo or Inside, things like that.
Yeah.
I
get that though. Like,
what'd you say?
Go ahead, Jago.
I was gonna say, what was that one with the threads? Like you were
Unravel,
yes.
where I was like a yarn person.
Yes.
I didn't finish that. Oh my gosh, I forgot about it. So I think I mostly finished it. So I was playing Unravel 2, and then Bento had come into my world, or into my stream, and he's like, "Did you know that there was an Unravel 1?" I was like, "What?" I was like, "Do I have to play 1 before I play 2?" And he's like, "No, not necessarily. But, because I always fucking do that. I'll just like play random something and then be like, oh, there was more games before that. And then I have to like backtrack. Like Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I gotta backtrack on those. So then I got Unravel, and then I was like, well, I'll start Unravel and finish that one and then do 2, and I just haven't yet. That's really what happened. I started playing other games.
That's what I always wanted to try too. Unravel looked really good.
It's so cute. I mean, if you want to try it and you don't want to buy it, I can share play sometimes, so you can just like get the feel of it, and then if you like it and you want to buy it, then you can.
That was the other feature I was trying to think of. That's so cool. I like the share play. That's such a neat idea.
It is, because then if you decide that you don't want it, you're like, well.
Yeah.
Or if you're Tommy and you just want to hear me scream, he was having me play Resident Evil 7, and he was just having way too much fun with me freaking the fuck out.
I can see that. Tommy. So on the lifespan topics, this was the one I was talking about earlier, 2.6, that kind of surprised me. I didn't say the name of it, but what do you guys think was Sony's shortest lifespan system-wise? So I'm going to give you one hint, and think outside of actual PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. They did have a few knockoffs. So we've talked about before, PlayStation Portable, Vita, but there was one console that they released that had a very short lifespan.
I have no idea.
I didn't even know this one either. This one kind of blew me out of the park. I actually had to look it up and see, like, is this a real system? I was like, okay, it was.
I don't know.
What about you, Jago?
I don't know of another system.
Or 2.6? Do you have a guess?
I do not.
Okay, so there was the PlayStation, the PSP, PlayStation Vita, PlayStation 1, 2, 3. I'm just thinking.
Jago, did you have a guess?
No using Google either.
I know he's just like Googling right now.
He's like, I'll fucking tell you. Give me 5 seconds. No.
So yeah, it was the PlayStation TV, which I didn't even know was a thing. But apparently, it had something to do with Japan. It was hard for them to get the Vita out there. So basically, your PlayStation TV hooked up to your TV, and it could play all the PlayStation Vita games. But I guess they didn't port it properly, so it could only play like half of the Vita games.
Oh,
So
dang,
yeah,
no.
yeah, it was executed badly, which I guess only gave it a 3-year lifespan. So it was the shortest PlayStation console with a lifespan. But you could have your PlayStation 4 controller hooked up to it, so it was still like relatively new. That's why I was surprised I never heard of it either. Yeah, so it was around the PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4 era,
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, I'm going to have to ask Spider about that one. When he's
and
not
it's really
killing
cool.
aliens.
Because like it looks small in the picture, and then they actually gave you like a description. And it was no bigger than a deck of cards. It was a really like
Oh,
small device.
wow.
Yeah, right. So it's kind of neat.
It's like a little pocket console. You can take it overnight at your girlfriend's.
Yeah, literally, like literally.
Right. Girlfriends hated that
Um,
shit. That's why I didn't make it. They're like, leave that at home. I'm just kidding.
What the hell is this thing?
Right.
So KZ chick, I'm kind of excited for you for this one. You were a big PS4 fan, obviously.
What?
Do you remember? Do you remember what the first game was for the PS4?
Do I remember what the first game was for the PS4?
So yeah, when it launched, it had its launch game, and this would be it.
Ooh,
I will say this: I know of the game, but I never would have guessed it until I saw it. I was like, "Oh yeah, that was a game."
I'm trying to
Same with
think.
you 2.6. If you have an idea,
I don't.
So we got our PS4. When was the PS4 launched?
That's a damn good question. So we had 2006 for the PS3. I want to say it was 2011. I think when I was looking up.
2011. Really?
I want to say that. I'm gonna take a peek, but I'm pretty sure. I know it's been like over a decade. PS4 launch. No, sorry, 2013. Okay, that's pretty damn close.
PS4 was 2013. Okay, so we didn't even get our PS3 until 2010 or 2011, I think. No, was it? Yeah. So when did we get our PS4? I don't know. I don't know what it was launched with. Damn it.
It was a game called Knack. And when you
Knack?
look at when you look at the picture, I know you hopefully
I'm
you'll
gonna
have
look
the
it
same
up right
reaction
now.
I did.
I'm like, I'm gonna look it up right now.
I was like, this goddamn game, and it was basically like a platformer kind of game, but it had a really neat like art style to it.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking it up.
But it was almost like the 360. Like there was a launch title for that one too. That I was like, oh damn, yeah, I totally forgot that was a game.
What? Yeah, that looks so weird.
Right?
Like I wouldn't even thought that was a game. Nope.
just picture them on the game show. Like, yeah, this is gonna be our launch title.
Yeah, like what? No. Mm-mm.
All the pizzas of the world. Where's Sly Cooper?
That's funny.
So that was the quiz for you guys. Hopefully you liked it. I figured we always leave it off on a positive note. So kind of had our PlayStation talk, right? But yeah, if you guys want to end this off with just your favorite video game memory, just a what's that?
I didn't say
Oh, sorry, I
anything.
don't know. Oh, okay,
Sorry,
maybe it's the
guys.
background noise.
Yeah,
No,
sorry,
no worries.
I had to AFK for a minute. I had a bunch of fried chicken in the kitchen that had been cooked, and
Ooh,
while I was in here with you guys, Django apparently jumped up and pulled it off the counter. So
Django was fucking up some chicken.
yeah, he was. He ate 3 of my 5 pieces. He was getting ready to work on the 4th when I ran outside.
Oh no!
Little motherfucker. That was my lunch.
Oh no.
It's not funny, but it is because Django's
I
so
know.
Oh
fucking
yeah,
cute.
no, it's funny. And he looks at you. He goes, "But I'm a beagle." And then you're like,
Right,
"Oh,
you
okay,
left that
fine."
fucking shit out, Daddy. That shit's mine.
You
I
just,
feel you. That's
little
does the same
bastard.
thing. I had a lunch earlier and I had to keep like moving it from different spot because I was trying to put the quiz together and he just kept trying to like go after my sandwich. Like, no, stop it.
Django is lucky that he is not one of those Chinese crested dogs.
My dogs are tiny. They can't even. I mean, okay, so here's the thing. Brownie could get on my counter, but he's not smart enough to trust himself to get up there. Because like he could hop over our whole fence outside, so he could definitely get on the table and on the counter and everything. But he doesn't. I think mainly because he's terrified of spider.
Yeah, but if you look up Chinese crested dogs, they're the ugliest dogs on earth. And if Django was a Chinese crested, I wouldn't have one. I wouldn't have 2 dogs.
No, like
But-
I mean the dogs love Spider, but he doesn't play.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure. I mean, I'm scared of spider. And I don't even live up there.
He's awesome. He's harmless. He's a lover.
So I was just saying, Django, we're gonna end the stream off with just one of our favorite video game memories. Just whatever game you want to shout out that made you happy and excited.
I don't even like the video games.
Lies.
I knew it. It was all for.
He's a fraud.
He's a bro.
He's a fraud.
Maybe not like a favorite memory, but my ex-girlfriend and I, most games are single person, like solo player, like one, just you versus itself. But my ex-girlfriend and I played Little Big Planet on PS3.
Ooh.
And it was a really cool, it was fun because you could do it as 2 people playing together, and it was you didn't die, right? Like your character could die, quote unquote, but would just immediately respawn. So it was really fun from a social perspective to be able to play Little Big Planet because you could kind of like spend hours just goofing off and rolling through these levels and different. I can't call them
And they're
dungeons.
fun too.
But they're fun. They're silly. It was a cool environment. To have with another person.
That's a good show. Yeah, because I think you played that one too, right, Z-Chick, with Tommy?
Yeah, I think I played.
Sackboy?
Yeah, Sackboy. I played the new one.
Yeah, those are
Such
damn
a good
games.
game. I'm down to play. If anybody's down to play, I'm just saying.
Yeah, those are damn good games. I think the one I got to play was on the PSP, but yeah, they're all great. What about you, 2-6? What's been one of your good gaming moments?
I would have to say in Fallout 76 when I defeated my first Deathclaw. And no, that's
Ooh.
nothing big, but for me that was pretty impressive.
So what was it? How'd you take down the big boy?
I used a rat strategy. I climbed up on one of the walls around me and just shot at it.
Nice. Nice little action scene. I love it.
It was pretty fun. He was terrifying, but it was nice.
Remember when I told you like I never fought a Deathclaw, like in New Vegas, right? Same thing happened in Fallout 3. Fallout 4 was my first experience. Like obviously you got past that first level where you have to fight it, but I found one later on. I was so like terrified to fight this fucker because everyone says how tough they are that I think the only thing I brought in with me was the rocket launcher, and I just pummeled him with rockets until that health bar just ended. I was like, yes, 6 rockets later, I'm almost half dead, but this bitch is dead too.
Oh.
Hey Jimmy.
What's up?
What's up, Jimmy?
I just went into the Discord and saw you guys are still on, and I had like 5-10 minutes, so I decided to jump in.
Hey, you came at the best time, buddy. We're just kind of shouting out our favorite gaming memories for the end of the podcast.
Nice.
But Z-Chick, if you don't mind, do you want to tell us one of your favorite gaming moments?
Yes, it was a long time ago, but Tony
was
Hawk Pro
Pong.
Skater 1. We were
Oh, what? That's a good shout. I would not expect that. Wow.
Well, okay, so my oldest kid was I think he was in like kindergarten, maybe first grade, and he kept kicking my ass in this game, right? And I was like, man. So Spider, being Spider, I spent my entire day off learning to play this game with Spider. I learned where all the secret tapes were, everything. I fucking wrecked this game. And when Zach came home that day, he's like, you want to play some Tony Hawk? I was like, no, I'm really tired of you beating me. And he just started kind of like just picking on me and like goading me. I was like, all right, it's on, punk. So we sat down and I kicked his butt and he never played with me again.
That's awesome.
And I know it's terrible, guys, but I was young. I was a young mom, and he beat me in every other game that we had, except for that one. Thanks to
That's
Spider.
wicked.
That's kind of how I approached Tekken, because I loved it so much, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking learn this game, and I went into the training mode, and I would sit there for literally for hours. I mean, my fingers would hurt, and I would,
Oh yeah.
Kind of like you did. I would just bang away at learning, and then when it came
I'm still
time to
kick ass at that game.
use practical application, like, oh yeah, I can kick some butt now.
Yeah,
and
I
that's what
actually
it takes, that whole muscle memory.
Yeah, I actually got both of those games on the PlayStation again. And I was like, man, it's amazing that I remember half of this shit.
Oh man, Tony Hawk was just a beautiful game though. Like goddamn, music, like gameplay, everything.
Oh yeah, so great. So great. Like,
I could play that first level forever, like that warehouse level. It was so good.
Yeah. So Zach did play with me like when he was in his 20s, like much later. But I still kicked his ass, and he was like, I fucking hate you. Like, you love me. Stop.
It's like, I'm sorry, but this is my game now.
Right. This is me.
Jimmy, you have probably the biggest gaming background that I know of. I'm pumped, buddy. If you have some time, I would love to hear one of your favorite gaming moments.
One of my
memories.
favorite gaming moments / memories would 100% be the first playthrough of the original Bioshock.
Ooh, not Resident Evil. Okay.
I know. I didn't want to go with
It's
the
raining.
obvious, but I mean, I don't know if anyone's not played it yet, and I don't know if I should. I know it's an old game, but there's
Spoiler
a twist
alert.
in it.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. There's a twist in it, and the first time you play through that game and that twist gets, you finally figure it out, like it happens, it's like, oh my god, you instantly rethink about the entire game you've just been through when you get to that point. And I just think that was probably one of the coolest gaming moments of all time, and no one like ruined it for me. No one like prepared me that there was gonna be a twist or anything. I just played through it and it hit me. It's such a cool moment in gaming. Like when games could do that to you, it's just really fun.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. I wish I had that moment, Jimmy, because I was one of those idiots that had it spoiled for me.
Oh.
So like when I got to the end, that didn't like impact me as much, but I loved BioShock regardless. Like I didn't realize it was more like a horror game, because that part I don't know, I somehow avoided catching. But yeah, that was such a fucking good game. BioShock was awesome.
I still have
How
to
long-
beat Infinite. I haven't even touched that.
How long are you going to be on Mindful?
Let me wrap it up right away. Wow, what's up, buddy?
I was going to ask who are my oh shit, I lost my train of thought, so it doesn't matter. Okay,
No worries. If you think of it, shout out. No worries.
where's my Silent Hill people?
Oh, Silent
Hill.
Silent Hill. But Jimmy would probably be definitely one of them. He's like I said, he's played a lot of games.
Oh yeah, I mean, I still to this day have a very like soft spot for the first Silent Hill. I know the second one is like everyone's favorite. I still just love the first one so much.
So did you play Clock Tower too?
I played bits of Clock Tower 3, I think. I don't think I had the other ones on PS1.
Yeah,
But
Silent Hill was definitely a great. It was a really cool title. I mean, obviously, it was so popular. I mean, they made movie, So
Yep.
And shout out to the movie, because that's actually what got me to want to play Silent Hill. After I watched the movie, I was like, "Hey, I need to be in this world. I need to experience this."
In reverse. So you saw the movie first.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, still gotta get on that hype train. Same with Resident Evil. I never, like I told Jimmy,
We'll
I've
get
only
you
played
there.
4. Yeah, I've only played 4 for like a little bit, 7 for a little bit. So it'll be fun to go right back to the beginning and see what that game's all about.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Like I said, for mine, it's honestly just a combination of like Champions of Norath with Cheyenne, and then Crystalis with my mom. Most of my gaming memories are honestly just playing with somebody, because it's usually just such a unique experience. Like I said before, Crystalis was special because like it was the first RPG I ever played, but it was just neat because kind of like how Z-Chick did it, but in this case, my mom was trying to help me. She would she would go ahead and like grind at a certain part for me, and I would come home and I'd be like 10 levels ahead. I was like, holy shit! Like, what'd you do for 2 hours? And it was like obviously really helpful because old Nintendo games, right? Bosses are really tough, so the more advanced you were, the better the turnout was. And then Champions of Norath, which is cool because Cheyenne, did game a lot, right? But she didn't try out a lot of RPGs and stuff. So that was kind of like her first RPG. And like I was telling her about the game, we couldn't find it for so long, but we found the sequel. And yeah, it was just like, I think we played that game for a good 6 months straight. Just, beat one character, okay, start again, new characters, try to max them out, and just so many good memories, so many like good like rage moments we had together against bosses. Like it was a damn good time.
Aw, your mom was nice.
I know, like literally, she was so happy. Like speaking of puzzle games, when I found her Yoshi's Cookie on the Switch, and that was the game that she was playing on her birthday, and I plugged the Switch in front of her. I was like, hey, like I'll do your feet, I don't cook you food. You just have a good time, and she was just like having the best moment of her life. She's like, I remember playing this when you were a kid. I was like, yeah.
Did you end up giving your mom that tapestry?
I am gonna see her soon. Yeah, sure. Her car. Basically, it started off with the windshields. They were wiping like they should have been, and then all of a sudden it turned into like her muffler. Her engine was acting up. So, because I can't get out to her, she can only drive to me. So yeah, I'm just waiting for her to fix. Yeah, I'm just waiting for her to fix her car up. But she's very excited. Like I sent her lots of photos of it.
And that reminds me, your mom has not called me since Saturday.
I know. She's, you know what? Once that car gets fixed, don't you worry. You're the next in line. She says, Matt, you need to wait. I need to talk to Django first.
Oh shit.
But yeah, on that wonderful note, I hope you guys all have a beautiful evening. Thank you guys so much for stopping on tonight, and I will catch you all next time.
All right. Have a good night.
Bye, guys.
And everyone.
All right, love you guys. Bye all.
Love you too. And let's see if Mindful did this right. We should be back on the main menu here. So a little bit longer than Mindful was expected to do, but I will keep my promise. I will go through this again, edit it with all the games that everyone mentioned. I'm going to try my best to find them all. I may not be like a whole video game clip all the time, but I will at least show pictures of the games everyone was talking about so you can, match the game up visually with what was described. And if there was any like cool things that someone brought up, I'm gonna see if I could try to find that moment too. And yeah, I'll make it fancy. It'll be fancy for the YouTube. If you listen on Spotify, it's not gonna be a fancy. It's just gonna be the normal old podcast with a few edits here and there. But I will catch you guys all tomorrow, hopefully on YouTube for Mobile Wednesday, which will just be PlayStation 4's Genshin until I'm level 16, I guess. So that was level 18 I had to be, but Z-Chick's at 16, so maybe it's less, which is even better. And then if not, then I will catch you either Thursday or Friday for the next 2 Twitch streams. But yeah, I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and goodbye.